This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.
The Plano West Wolves football is on SportsSoundsRadio.com. This broadcast of Plano ISD football is sponsored by Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America and Appliances on Main Street in downtown Allen, serving the folks of Collin County for more than 50 years. By Buford Roofing and Construction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. By Flat Shell, Auto Service and Repair Center on Preston Road at I-635. Plano ISD football is a presentation of SportsSoundsRadio.com.
It's been 2 weeks since Plano West last stepped foot on the gridiron. That night, Plano West tacked on 63 points on the board, and Soso Jamambo ran wild for 469 yards and 6 touchdowns in a key win over Garland Saxe. Tonight, the Wolves open District 6-6A action in a crosstown showdown versus Plano East. The Panthers are led by familiar face in Joey McCullough, who coached for 12 seasons at Plano West before taking the head job at his alma mater in 2014. His squad is highlighted by a wealth of young talent and one of the top defensive players in the state in Landis Durham. It's Plano West and Plano East tonight from John Clark Stadium on an absolute picture-perfect night for high school football. Hello, everybody. I'm Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan. Plano West enters tonight 2-0, riding an offense that's averaging 54 points per game. Plano East, on the other hand, comes in at 1-2, 1-0 in district, a 27-24 victory last Friday night against Flower Mound. And Eli, this is a rivalry game dating back to 2000, and while Plano West leads or trails this overall series 9-5 to Plano East, you look back just at recent history, and right now it's been on the side of the Wolves.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Plano West has the last 3 victories in this series dating back to 2011. They win the 2011 game 44-36. That was a 4-overtime thriller led by Corey Wesley, who was 26 for 41 for 323 yards and 4 touchdowns. So a great game there, one of the best games in the history of this series back in 2011. Then you have the 2012 game where Plano West was a 19-point victor, 47-28, the final in that one. And, of course, you have Soso Jamambo as a sophomore in that game. He had 273 yards and 2 touchdowns against Plano East back in 2012. And then last year's game, very lopsided. Plano West wins that one by 25 points, the 3rd largest margin of victory going back to the year 2000. They win it 42-17. And again, Jamambo, a great game last year as well. 8 carries for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. It also included a Matt Augustine 8-yard blocked punt return for a touchdown. So a big win last year for Plano West. But a very, very good series historically, and we will see exactly what we've got going here this year in 2014. It should be a fun one.
And a new twist to this saga. You add that Joel McCullough, who coached 12 seasons in Plano West as the team's run game coordinator, assistant head coach. He returns now to his alma mater at Plano East. It'll be a different feel tonight, really, for both those coaches in McCullough as well as Hughes. Guys have been longtime friends as well as coaches on that same sideline.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were best friends, in fact. And Joey McCullough was actually the first person Mike Hughes hired back in 2002 when he took the job over at Plano West. And he says, quote-unquote, he's my best friend. So these guys are very, very close. And it should make for an interesting dynamic here tonight. And McCullough says when he left in 2002 to go to Plano West, he was leaving his alma mater, which is Plano East, and said it was very, very interesting because a lot of the kids didn't understand why he was leaving to go to Plano West when he was a Plano East graduate. But Hughes says it's a long week. It's going to be an emotional week. There's a lot of respect between the two guys. But in the end, once that whistle blows, it's all competition and all that kind of gets thrown out the window. But it is going to be a fun matchup, and that really adds a very interesting dynamic to the matchup here tonight, that the head coaches work together for so long. They know each other so well. And it'll be interesting to see if they throw each other a curveball here here and there. What they've got, if Coach Hughes or if Coach McCullough has something up their sleeve, they never disclosed to the other one when they worked together for so long. So it should be fun.
Well, one guy that is a mystery right now is the quarterback situation. Really, for Miklo Smalls, the sophomore quarterback, has been splitting time with Miles Thompson. Talking to Coach McCullough earlier this week, they really settled in on Smalls, and he's a guy that really Coach McCullough feels like that they found their starter in him, and hopefully to find a rhythm with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Miklo Smalls, it's kind of a situation of he's a sophomore, Miles Thompson a junior, and they split time for the first couple of weeks. Last week, Coach McCullough said that this quarterback by committee could dissipate a little bit further into the season, and last week's district opener could have actually clarified that situation just a bit for Coach McCullough. On Friday, the Panthers iced a 27-24 victory over Flower Mound. That included a 26-yard scoring drive with 2:27 left to play, capped by a 3-yard touchdown by Miklo Smalls. At this point in the season, it looks like Miklo Smalls is going to be the full-time starter. He will start the game here tonight. But if there are early troubles, you can always go to the backup in Miles Thompson. He is a very grizzled veteran. He's a junior quarterback. He started 6 games last year as a sophomore. And Coach McCullough said that he raves about the time he spends preparing. So it's always nice to know that you have a top-quality backup. But Miklo Smalls, it appears, will be the starter here tonight. We'll see how that goes early in the game.
It is Plano West and Plano East tonight from John Clark Stadium. When we come back, we'll take a look around District 668, tell you about a big showdown last night between Allen and Plano, as well as get you caught up on what's on tap for tonight in the district. Also, some marquee matchups across the Metroplex this weekend. We'll tell you all about those as well. You are listening to the pregame show presented by Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances on Main Street in downtown Allen, serving the folks of Collin County for more than 50 years.
Located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Welcome you back into the Plano West Wolves countdown to kickoff. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan on a terrific night for Friday night football. Get you ready for Plano West, Plano East. Let's take you through the key matchups. District 668, starting with what happened last night. In fact, right here at Clark Stadium was Plano and Allen. And last night, Eli, the Eagles showed everyone once again why they're the top team in the state of Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about that. Allen Plano last night over here at Clark Stadium, and it was all Allen. Is Jalen Guyton, who is actually an oral commit to Notre Dame, caught 9 passes for 178 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, Allen's quarterback, Kyler Murray, a Texas A&M pledge. He was 22 of 33 passing for 329 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Cody Butler also got into the mix there with 7 catches for 105 yards for Allen. Allen, of course, remains number 1 ranked in the state and in the area in Class 6A. They're 4-0 overall, 2-0 in District 6A. Plano, who was ranked number 20 in the area poll, is now fallen to 2-2 and 1-1 in district. But a short week for Plano. They had the game against Hebron last Friday night, and then to turn around and have to play a very, very tough Allen team on a short week is no easy task for any coach or any team. I don't care who it is. You give me the best team from any state in the entire country, and they're going to have a difficult time facing Allen on a short week. So no shame there in the game last night for Plano. Allen, just a very, very tough team, and it's all led there by Kyler Murray.
Taking a look at the rest of District 6A, 2 other games outside of this one here tonight. McKinney-Boyd traveling to Flower Mound to take on the Jaguars. Boyd enters at 1-2, 0-1 in district after a 58-28 drumming last week to that Allen team that you talk about. And then Flower Mound 1-2 as well. Very well could be, though, 3-0. Team that was picked to finish in the cellar of the district really has raised some eyebrows throughout their start to the season. Last week they fell to this Plano East team that we'll see tonight, 27-24. Elsewhere in District 6A, the Marcus Marauders head over to the Woodshed to take on a reeling Hebron Hawks team. Hebron is 0-3 after a 35-14 loss to the Plano Wildcats last week. Marcus, on the other hand, 2-1 on the season, winners of their last 2 after falling in Week 1 to Mansfield. Outside of District 6A, there's some terrific games around the area, beginning with Arlington, Bowie, Colleyville, Heritage. Take a look at that one. There's a good chance we'll see some offensive fireworks tonight over in Grapevine.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that you're going to see a heck of a game over there between Arlington, Bowie, and Colleyville Heritage. Of course, Bowie coming off a bye week, they're 1-1. They should be ready to run behind their quarterback, Tony James, and DeAndre Cook, Chris Gardner, the 2 running backs over there at Arlington, Bowie. The number 1 ranked 6A offense comes from Bowie. They're averaging 679 yards a game, so just an outrageous number of yards per game there for Bowie. And then Heritage 2-1, coming off an impressive 40-16 win over at Lake Highlands last week, where they rushed for 326 yards and 5 TDs. Bowie has arguably the better athletes here. I think they do. I'm going to go with Bowie in this game. I think it might be a shootout, though, so look for a good game there tonight.
Elsewhere, the defending state champions in Cedar Hill, coming off a loss last week to a highly talented and always a team that is right in the thick of things in Dallas Skyline. Big win last week for Skyline over Cedar Hill. Tonight, Cedar Hill travels up north to take on the Coppell Cowboys. Always a tough place to play when you go to Buddy Eccles Stadium. Should be a great one there tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned over at Buddy Eccles, 7:30 start time like our game here, so just about 15 minutes away, Cedar Hill over at Coppell. And, of course, you have Coppell with their senior running back, Charles West. He has 412 yards and 5 TDs behind that massive Coppell offensive line. We will see how that Cedar Hill defensive line is able to match up between those large, big nasties up front for Coppell. It should be a fun game, and then you have Cedric Ware, a 5'11", 200-pound running back that Coach Joey McGuire says would have definitely rushed for 2,000 yards last season if he had not been hurt. Ware finished the season last year with 1,270 yards and 11 touchdowns, but he is fully healthy this year and should really, really help that Cedar Hill offense. That should be a very good game, but I like Cedar Hill to pull away late in that.
One other key game amongst all the great games around the Metroplex. This one's going to take us outside the Metroplex, go down south, I-45, down to Houston. Euless Trinity tonight leaves the Metroplex. They take on a Galena Park North Shore team, 2 teams that have been traditionally strong. I think you'll probably see a very physical smash-mouth type football game there.
You could not have said it better. I mean, this game is going to go by in the blink of an eye. Not a lot of throwing going to go on tonight down there between Galena Park North Shore and Euless Trinity. They both have massive offensive lines. They love to run the football, and traditionally, Euless Trinity likes to use that big offensive line and then hide a very tiny running back right behind it, and you'll see that again this year. But Trinity 3-0. Coach Steve Lineweaver has them in the talk again, in the conversation once again for a state championship. Galena Park North Shore also very, very studly. They are 1-2, and they're not accustomed to being 1-2 this early in the season, but they do have a couple of quality losses to Manville and Spring Westfield, so it will be a tale of ball control and whoever wins the turnover battle. I like Trinity in this one because their offensive line is simply so dominant, and they will probably wear down that North Shore team late in the game. So.
A lot of terrific action across the Metroplex in the state of Texas tonight. Got a great one here tonight as well. Plano West and Plano East, crosstown rivals. When we come back, we'll go inside the keys to the game, look at what the Wolves need to do on both sides of the football to get to 3-0 and more importantly 1-0 in district play as it all starts tonight in District 668 for the Plano West Wolves. You're listening to Countdown to Kickoff on the Rodenbaugh Flooring in America and Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on High Street.
Welcome back to John Clark Stadium in Plano, Texas. Along with Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Radcliffe. It's the Plano West Wolves and Plano East Panthers tonight, taking now inside the keys to the game. And Eli, let's start on the offensive side for Plano West. Last time out, the Wolves went for 713 yards of offense, 63 points. Soso Jamambo, the story of the night, as usual, close to 500 yards for him. You know Plano East is going to key on him. What become the keys tonight for the Plano West offense?
Well, naturally it all centers around Soso Jamambo, and that just goes without saying. I mean, he's such a talented kid. Every time he touches the ball, he's dangerous, and he can go to the house at any given time. Every time he takes that pigskin, there is no telling where he is going to end up with it. It might be a 3-yard gain or it might be a 92-yard gain like we saw early in that second quarter a couple of weeks back. But you mentioned the 602 rushing yards for Plano West offense in that last game against Garland-Saxe, a very good Garland-Saxe team, I might add. But for tonight, for me, it's going to be the passing efficiency of Robert Colmary. He's 12 for 17 on the season, only 17 passing attempts, which, those numbers are not eye-popping by any stretch of the imagination. They're not coming out here and flinging the ball around 45, 50 times because they have Soso Jamambo. But Colmary has been very efficient in his passing game. That 12 for 17 number, that includes a couple of balls that he threw deep at the end of that first half a couple of weeks back that, were incompletions basically on Hail Mary attempts. So I'm not even going to count those. So really you ought to be about 12 for, say, 15 or so. So incredibly efficient throwing the football. And he throws a very nice ball deep down the field, and we've seen that a couple of times so far this season. And I think he needs to do that again early here tonight to open up that defense, to keep them honest a little bit so Soso Jamambo can do his thing.
On the defensive side now for Plano West, they'll see a young offensive unit tonight. And for Plano East, it really all starts at the quarterback position. They've got a good one in Miklos Smalls, especially in the run game as a sophomore.
Yeah, Miklos Smalls, we talked a little bit about him just a few minutes ago. He's only a sophomore, but he's become the full-time starter here tonight. And Coach McCullough says he wanted to get him into a rhythm with letting him play a full season and letting him play a full game. So we will see how he does early in the game. We might see Miles Thompson if Smalls has some trouble early. But as far as his targets, I like Adi Omatosho, the receiver, 6'3", 185-pound junior. He moved to wide receiver this year after playing defensive back. He's been offered to play at Duke, and offensive coordinator Brad Bailey says he reminds him a lot of Terrence Williams, who is currently the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver who played his college ball down at Baylor. But a very, very solid receiving core in Adi Omatosho. and we'll see how he and Miklos Smalls hook up here tonight in Miklos Smalls' first start and his first full quarter of play.
We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff of this one, and coming up next we have a chance to sit down, hear from Plano West head coach Mike Hughes about facing longtime friend and former coach at Plano West, Joey McCullough, as McCullough has taken over at his alma mater. This is his first year at Plano East. We'll also get his keys to tonight's district opener on both the offensive and defensive sides. That's all coming up next. You're listening to the pregame show presented by Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances. This is Plano West football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
And welcome you back into the pregame show. Plano West, Plano East tonight from Clark Stadium. Have a chance now to visit with Wolves head coach Mike Hughes. And, Coach, let's go back a couple weeks ago since your last outing. An offensive shootout against Garland Saxey, 63-49. Before we get to tonight, what were the positives and some of the things, maybe some of the minuses you took from the victory?
Well, the obvious positive is we won. Anytime you can get a victory, you got to feel good about that. But the other obvious thing was we got to get better defending the pass. They have some really talented players over there, and that was the area that stood out. I was pleased with the way we stopped the run, stopped the big bike at Saxey, but we got to get better at covering the pass. Offensively, we've had 2 great games. You know, we've got to continue to improve. I'm pleased with the way our offensive line has been playing, open the holes for Jamambo, and then when we've thrown it, we've been good there too. So we've been good in the kicking game. We haven't had a lot of penalties in either game, so I've been pleased with that. I like the maturity and the effort, and I like where we're at right now as a team.
You talk about the offensive line and then the job that Soso Jamambo did. You've seen a lot of football and probably one of the finest performances that you've ever been around. As Soso's gotten into his senior year, he was a terrific back as a sophomore 2 years ago, but what's allowed him, the improvements that you've seen him make that's allowed him to elevate his game to become just one of the nation's elite?
Well, he's healthy, number one. He's 100% healthy. Last year he wasn't. And I think more than anything, it's mental. You know, as a player grows from the freshman, sophomore, and on up the ladder, they develop every year physically as well as mentally. And I think right now both aspects, the physical part and the mental part, are there. And there's no doubt he wants to be the best back in the country. And so far, he's proven that. So I like where he's at right now.
You had a week off last week without a Friday night game. The preparation that goes into that, how do you try to go about planning for that week, keeping guys sharp as you have the week off, extra week of preparation to get ready for Plano East tonight?
Well, after we graded the Saxey video, we go down and we sit down as a staff, and then we decide on what areas we need to improve on. And so we go out and work on that, and then the focus is on the conditioning and the weightlifting. And it's not a normal week, but we do go out and work on things that we've got to get better at, so that allowed us to do that. But the focus there also was the lifting, continue to lift, and condition as well.
We're talking with Wolves head coach Mike Hughes. We get you ready for Plano West, Plano East tonight, and let's shift our focus now to tonight's ball game. A little different feel for you. Joey McCullough being on the opposite side, a guy that you brought in as one of your first assistants, 12 years working with him and known him for a long time. Probably a different feel for you tonight as you take to the sidelines. What's that relationship been like with him throughout the years?
What a lot of people don't know is I actually worked with his brother, Jadon McCullough. We're at Plano for 12 years, and then when I got the head coaching job at Plano West, Joey was the first person I called. He came to Plano West and worked for me for 12 years. Great friend, one of my best friends. A great coach, has a passion for kids, passion for the game. And there's no doubt in my mind that Plano East is going to be one of the top programs in the state as he continues to build over there brick by brick. And, hey, it's a little emotion before the game, but when that whistle blows and that ball is kicked off, you know what, we're going to try to beat them. They're going to try to beat us, and we'll see what happens tonight. But it's going to be fun tonight.
As we get into the game now and the keys for you tonight, let's start on the offensive side of the football. You see a different defensive look tonight in the fact that they'll go with a 3-3 stack. They'll show you some 4-2-5. What become the keys for you, especially up front, seeing that different type of look?
Well, number one, we got to take care of the football. We've been pretty good at that in the two previous games, so we got to take care of the football. The linemen got to get their eyes up, be ready to pick up a lot of stunts tonight. They're going to stun a lot, and so the linemen got to get their eyes up and stay on track on their blocks and pick up the stunt. And when we throw it, we've got to be good there too. So they're going to try to get people in the box and stop the run, and we've got to execute when we decide to throw the ball. So that's the key tonight, take care of the football.
They're a team that has a lot of young offensive and defensive talent. You see a sophomore quarterback tonight in Miklos Smalls. So defensively for you, going into this one, what do you focus on, try to take away from them tonight?
Well, you're going to see two similar offenses tonight. Number one thing you got to do is stop the run. You got to play responsibility football. They're going to have a dive back in there, and then that quarterback will pull it out on several of their schemes. So you've got to have somebody on the dive, and you've got to have somebody on the quarterback as well. So we've got to tackle. They're going to try to run the ball on us tonight. We've got to tackle and swarm to the football, and then when they do throw it, we've got to get into coverage. So it's going to be fun out there tonight, two similar offenses, and we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. Wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's our visit with Mike Hughes. You're set for Plano West, Plano East. The starting lineups are coming up next on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
From John Clark Stadium, it's Plano West and Plano East, the district opener tonight for the Plano West Wolves. For Plano East, they are 1-0 in district after a 27-24 victory last Friday night over Flower Mount. We are about 2.5 minutes away from kickoff. Let's get you the starting lineups tonight. First of all, for Plano East offensively, across the front line, Alan Sarabia is at the left tackle, Charles Edgett's the left guard, Dane Cordell is the center, Bryson Royal the right guard, and Trayvon Ransom at right tackle. The quarterback, Miklos Smalls, a 6 foot, 190-pound sophomore, the third Smalls brother to play quarterback at Plano East. Miles Thompson and Smalls have split time through the first 3 games, but Smalls gets the starting role tonight. Jaquan Douglas is in the backfield, 318 yards rushing, but he sat out last week against Flower Mound with an injury. The H-back is Christian Buchanan, and then the wideouts, Tim Wilson, Odie Amatosho, a 6'3", 185-pound junior, the team's leading receiver, and then Austin Corbett at the tight end. For Plano West defensively, they base out of a 4-3 alignment. Brett Clark and Lavelle Ramsey are the defensive ends. Jordan Diggs, Shontas Smallwoods are the tackles. The linebacking core, a talented group of guys, and Wamed Sonogo, a sophomore, Ed Martin, and McKinley Mitchell. McKinley Mitchell, the team leader in tackles for Plano West, and it is a group that played a huge dividends for them defensively last week.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Ed Martin, you've got Mohamed Sonogo, and then McKinley Mitchell, and they have all been just absolute studs through the first couple of games here this year for Plano West. So keep your eyes on those 3 guys, especially here tonight. Ed Martin in particular, he has been a real missile around the football.
Secondary that Mike Hughes talked about in the pregame show that really has to shore up some things. They gave up 448 yards passing against Saxe last week. The corners are Alex Prince and Mark Cooks. Seth Hammond and Tyler Campbell are the safeties. For Plano West offensively, up front, Travis Hall makes his first start of the year in place of an injured Anthony Cansabedian. Colin Hill is the left guard, Travis Armstrong in the middle at the center spot. Ed Alotsev is the right guard, and Iju Kim over at right tackle. The quarterback is Robert Colmeri, a 2-year starter, threw for 275 yards this year, and he's ran for $185. So Jamambo, one of the elite talents in all of high school football, 6'3", 201-pound senior, 589 yards rushing on the season, 11 touchdowns. Travis Taylor, Andrew Gillespie, Yoshe Ali, and Christian Gans are the wideouts. For Plano East defensively, a 3-3 stack alignment, Landis Durham, Deion Davis, and Trayvon Ransom up front. Durham, the big Texas A&M commit, stands at 6'3", 230. Linebacking core, talented as well. Austin Corbett's the leading tackler. Grayson Diepenbrock is in the middle, and Anthony Hines, a sophomore, 6'2", 220, is at the weak side. Marquise Morrow is their jack linebacker. The corners are Alante Williams and Jordan Williams, and Mark Loveland and Reuben Donald are the safeties. We are all set for Plano West and Plano East. It is coming up right after the break here on Champion Sports Radio.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
From Clark Stadium in Plano, Texas, it's a crosstown rivalry in the district opener for the Plano West Wolves as they get set to take on the Plano East Panthers. Hello, everybody. Along with Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. And Eli, you could not paint a better picture for tonight, the district opener on Friday night high school football.
You are absolutely right. It should be a fun game. The weather's nice, got a little breeze blowing, still a little bit warm, 84 degrees, but should be dipping into the upper 70s and no chance of any major precipitation. There might be a little here and there. We've got some clouds overhead, but I think everything's going to be just fine. It should be one heck of a fun game.
Light shining down here on Clark Stadium and sun setting on a gorgeous evening for Friday night football. Plano West tonight is the home team. In a stadium that these two squads share, Plano West wears the blue jerseys, white pants, white helmets, with the blue W on either side. For Plano East, the visiting team tonight, white jerseys, black numerals and letters trimmed in gold, the black pants, black helmet with the Panther logo in gold on either side of the helmet. Plano West won the toss tonight. They have elected to defer. They will kick off, and they will defend the south end zone. They will be traveling from right to left. Deep to receive for Plano East. For the Panthers, back to receive Adio Matosho and Zadok Wilson. Teeing it up for Plano West is Parker Davidson. Will set the tee at the 40-yard line on the near hash. Plano West at 2-0, a 63-49 win over Garland Saxe two Fridays ago. Plano East at 1-2, 27-24 win over Flower Mound last Friday night in their district opener. Big crowd on hand here tonight on both sides. Crosstown rivals get set to tangle as Davidson booms this one high end over end kick that drives Omatosho all the way to the back of the end zone, and it bounces through the end zone. It's another touchback for Parker Davidson, and here comes the Plano West defense led by the middle linebacker and Wamed Sanogo, big defensive line up front. Lavelle Ramsey, who had 3 tackles for loss last week, he mans that defensive line up front. Tyler Campbell, the big standout at the safety position, 2-year starter. A couple of interceptions 2 weeks ago. For Plano East, Miklo Smalls brings his troops onto the field as the Panthers set up at the 25-yard line, moving left to right.
And you got to like the fact that Plano West head coach Mike Hughes is putting the sophomore quarterback out there early in Miklo Smalls. We'll see how that goes.
Out of a too tight set, handoff off left tackle. He is snowed under. There is nowhere to go. Swallowed up is Jaquan Douglas, maybe a gain of 1. Goes the diminutive senior, 5'9", 165 pounds. Douglas, who was out last week, gets the first carry. They do give him 2 to the 27.
Nice job there by Jordan Diggs, the defensive tackle, 6'3", 255-pound senior. He was an end last year. They moved him onto the inside this year. He does a good job of pursuing that play down the line and makes the tackle earlier in the game.
Douglas is the back set to the left, 2 slots, and here is Smalls off left tackle on his zone read. He is met at the 30-yard line, stacked up. It'll leave him about 5 yards short, and leading the way defensively that time was Jordan Diggs in the defensive tackle spot. Again on the tackle, and some good push up front here on the first 2 plays defensively for West.
Yeah, and again, Wamed Sanogo also in on the action there, and he is a man-child, a 6'2", 227-pound sophomore.
3rd down and 5 for Plano East. They go with the tight end to the right. 2 receivers come to the near side. Smalls to throw. Short 3-step drop. Rolling to his right. He's got a man down there at the 35, and it's incomplete. He had a man open in Zadok Wilson, who had snuck in behind the coverage. He makes that catch. He's got room to run to the house. Instead, it falls incomplete. Smalls misses a huge opportunity. It's 4th down. It's a 3-and-out.
Now, and a lot of people would say that Miklo Smalls missed his target there, but I almost think that was on Zadok Wilson. I think Wilson was supposed to head towards the out-of-bound marker there. He ended up getting a little bit turned around, and in reality, Miklo Smalls makes a very, very nice throw there, but unfortunately, Zadok Wilson just kind of got his body turned the wrong way, and it ended up being an incompletion. If that ball is completed, though, it goes for big yardage and more than likely a touchdown.
Clock stopped at 10:48. First drive, a 3-and-out for Plano East. Landis Durham, the punt, stands back, heels on his 15. kicks this one, a wobbly kick, hit to the near side, just on top of the numbers. Travis Traylor's going to let it roll, and it takes an eastbound to the 35 to the 30. This will roll all the way inside the 25 to the 23, where it is down by Marquise Morrow. And so here comes the Plano West offense, first down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And we will see here if offensive coordinator Kelly Mercer elects to use Robert Colmary early like we've seen those first couple of weeks out of Plano West, or if they just give a healthy dose of Soso Jamambo to Plano East defense here early on. I'm not sure which is going to happen, but I can take a guess.
Andrew Gillespie is the H-back. Jamambo is set to the right of Colmary. Inside give to Jamambo. He goes hurdling over tacklers. He's still on his feet at the 25. Then Met stacked up there. It is some tough running for short yardage at 2 yards. You got to know that they are keying on the big 6'3", 201-pound senior in Jamambo, and it's now a second down and 8.
And you're already seeing, and just after one play, the effect of that big defensive front for Plano East. They stuffed that hole up in a hurry, and now we've got a false start, it appears.
Hurry up offense for Plano West. It is Colin Hill, the left guard, who is caught bringing his hand up off the ground. He'll be a false start. He'll go back Plano West up. He'll make it a second down and 13.
See, and now this is genius for Mike Hughes and Kelly Mercer, offensive coordinator for Plano West. They're going to try and hurry up and go quickly here and try and wear down that big defensive front for Plano East here early in the game. I like that idea. It's a good call.
Shotgun snap to Colmary. He reads it. He pulls it down. He's got a lane to run across the 25, dives forward across the 30. He's close to a first down. They'll mark it at the 31. And again, there's that zone replay where they're trying to stretch Jamambo out. Colmary pulls it. He gets tough yardage.
And you already see number 92, Deion Davis for Plano East. He's taking a breather, so after just a couple of plays with that hurry-up offense, we're already seeing a substitution for Plano East.
Here's Colmary, left side. He's got first down yards. There's a flag down, though, as he stumbles his way forward to the 36-yard line. Early indication, though, looks as though it could be against Plano West. That's in the vicinity of holding. Check the call here. Our officiating crew, as they confer at about the 30-yard line. Colmary had plenty of yardage for the first down.
And here we're already seeing the
Jamambo play is a first down. After the play, we got a dead ball, sideline warning on the blue, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And the get-back guy is already in trouble down there on the near sideline. He fell asleep on the job.
You got to know emotions are running high tonight. Guys are going to inch closer to that field.
No question. That's why you've got the get-back guy. Get back. You got. That's his job. That's his one thing to do. The get-back guy. Everybody's got one, right?
Absolutely. He's already in trouble. Yep. Hearing it from Coach Mike Hughes. Here's Colmary off the right side. He pulls it down, calls his own number. He is muscling his way forward to the 34. So on the first down, he gets a carry of about 4, close to 5 yards. And again, West is showing that hurry-up offense.
And already we can see what I like to refer to as the Jamambo effect, because they've run that read option with him several times already, and that defense is biting down on the Jamambo fake, and Colmary's having his way with it so far.
And off to Jamambo, and he is stuck in the backfield. Back to the 31. He started left, came back to his right, and it's a loss of 3. They had Plano East really where they wanted. They were moving across that defensive front line. They weren't set, but on that left side, that's where Landis Durham resides, and they stuffed him in the backfield. Third down and 8. Shotgun set, 3 receivers. Colmary to throw, pressure coming from the backside, rifles it over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Yoshe Ali at the 45, and it was Landis Durham breathing down the backside of Colmary's neck. That's where the heat came from. And now Plano West will have to punt it away.
Already a very, very nice defensive series there for Plano East. They do a good job bottling up Soso Jamambo with that big defensive front 7 there. Deion Davis, Landis Durham, Trayvon Ransom. You've also got Anthony Hines and Austin Corbett back there at linebacker. They did a great job on that series. Not much doing for Soso Jamambo or Robert Colmary.
8:45 to go first quarter, no score. Both teams punting on their first possession. Here's Damon Foncham, and whistles blow before he can kick this one away. This is a Plano West team.
Look at this punt. Did you see where that thing went out of bounds?
That
It's a shame that got blown dead, because that thing was
number 7 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Foncham will have to back up on the false start. Foncham's averaging 44 yards a kick. He has a long of 59. That was well beyond 59.
Yeah, that was about the best punt I've ever seen. It was like a 65-yarder, and it trickled out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And you can see his hands are on his hips back there. He goes, come on, guys. I can't believe we wasted that one.
Already 3 penalties here on Plano West. This is a team that has averaged 45 yards in penalties per game. Rivalry game here tonight, and already the penalties have hurt them on this first drive. Eamon Foncham still standing back inside his 10-yard line. They've yet to put the football down and spot it. Now they're trying to mark this one off correctly, and it is going to be actually at the 27-yard line, so Foncham will stand now. He makes his steps in front of the 10-yard line. He stands heels on the 13. His own 13-yard line. Plano West moving from right to left. Back deep to receive is Miklo Smalls. Foncham booms this one. There's a wobbly kick that comes down, takes a Plano West roll at the 35, inside the 30. This is going to run inside the 20 to the 15, and will finally die at the 10-yard line.
Is he a weapon or is he a weapon?
Foncham flips the field, and Plano East will take over first down and 10 at their own 10-yard line, and he boomed that one from all the way inside his own 20-yard line.
He is, I'm telling you, anytime you have a punter like that can flip the field position on you, he kicked it from 10 to 10, essentially. That's, a 75, 80-yard punt.
5'8", 172-pound senior. The kicking game is another area for Plano West that has just been absolutely terrific this year. You combine him with Parker Davidson, it has been outstanding. Here comes Plano East back on the offensive charge. First and 10 at their own 10-yard line, moving left to right, 8:29 to go, first quarter, no score. Two receivers set to the left from a shotgun set. Snap is low to Smalls' left. He has to go down and get it, and then he is met with a host of blue jerseys back inside the 10-yard line on what was really a busted play, just a bad snap, and Smalls has to eat it for a loss of 1.
Yeah, nice play there by Robert Leviton, who was able to get in the backfield. He couldn't make the tackle, but he did just enough to trip up Miklo Smalls and have that one go for negative yard.
Second down and 11. Again, two wide, split up top to the left. They're stacked. Omatosho stands behind the lead receiver in Zadok Wilson. Here comes Smalls, now dancing away from pressure. Escapes to his left. Flags are down. Sonogo swallows him up, slings him down at the 11. But again, penalty flags. This officiating crew trying to set the tone early here. With this being a rivalry game tonight, it's going to be holding on Plano East. Be interesting to see what Mike Hughes likes to do here. It'd be third down and 10. They could push him back half the distance to the goal if they do accept the penalty.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of hankies on that one. It was a pretty obvious hold there on the right tackle.
On the offense, number 51. The penalty is refused. Third down.
So Mike Hughes, John Bandy, the defensive coordinator, elect to decline the penalty. Clock stopped at 7:47 to go. Knows the football right at the 10-yard line. Plano East deep in their own territory. It's a third down and 11 for Miklo Smalls and company.
This is exactly what you don't want if you're Plano East. You don't want these third down and long situations with a young quarterback that gives the Plano West defense an opportunity to pin their ears back and come after it.
Tight end set to the right, receivers to each side. Here comes pressure from McKinley Mitchell on the backside. Pass is thrown incomplete. He was looking for Omatosho on the far sideline at the first down marker. Sails it high, and Smalls 0 for 2 in the early going. Plano East as a team last week between Smalls and Miles Thompson were 0 for 10. They picked up where they left off. It's another 3 and out. Plano West will get the football back in what should be good field position.
And just like I said right before that play, McKinley Mitchell comes on the blitz there on the outside and was able to flush quarterback Miklo Smalls at the far sideline, and Smalls just didn't have enough time to set his feet and make a good accurate throw. He was forced to throw it over the head of his receiver, and now we're going to see a punt from the shadow of his own goalpost here.
Landis Durham stands 5 yards deep into his own end zone. No pressure. He gets this one away. Wobbly punt. This one hits at the 36. Takes a Plano East bounce to the 40 and then dies right there into the hands of Cesar Sanchez. They'll down it right there at the 40-yard line. Plano West will have the football on the near hash in Plano East territory. Their best field position with 7:14 to go. First quarter, no score.
Not a lot doing for either one of these offenses thus far. Of course, Plano West had a little trouble in their last possession with penalties. We'll see if they shore that up here and see if they continue with that fast-paced offense that they ran with on that first series.
Here comes a West offense that's averaging 631 yards a game. It's Comeri off the right side on the zone read. He pulls it down to 35 to 30, far sideline to the 20, lowers his shoulder, and he's out of bounds. Big yardage there for Comeri. The 6'3", 196-pound senior, we talked about him last week, kind of reminding you of a Tim Tebow type runner, and right there, that's what he shows.
Yeah, no question. Austin Corbett, linebacker for Plano East, fell for that play fake to Sosa Jamambo. He took the inside route, and that gave Comeri plenty of room to run.
First down, here comes Jamambo, near side. He breaks tackles at the 20, 15, lowers his shoulders, out of bounds at the 10. Tough running by Jamambo, his biggest run of the night. It's another first down, back-to-back first down. That first down brought to you by Rodenbos, as Plano West now deep into Plano East territory at the 13-yard line. Ball in the near hash, 6:56 first quarter, no score. Plano West looking to get on the board. In a hurry-up style offense, Gillespie is the H-back to the right, handoff. Jamambo off the right side, stiff arms to tackler. Starting his feet inside the 5 to the 3-yard line goes Jamambo. Some physical running there, and he's close to the end zone. They mark him down just outside the 1-yard line, about 1.5-yard line for Plano West.
And the last thing defensive coordinator John Lubo wants to see is Soso Jamambo running angry here tonight. That's what we've seen on those last couple of carries.
First and goal, and he will walk in. Jamambo off the right side. Plano West is on the board. 6-0 at the 6:39 mark here in the first quarter.
And that was just too easy. Absolutely no defensive pressure there up front for Plano East. It was all Plano West offensive line there on that one. And Jamambo could have tippy-toed into the end zone if he wanted to, crab walked or sea walked or whatever he wanted to do. He could have done whatever he wanted to in the end zone there.
Parker Davidson out of the hole with Damon Foncham for the extra point. Make it a 7-0 lead. The hold is down, and the kick is true. Davidson is now perfect 13-13 here in 2014. It is 7-0. Plano West is on top of Plano East. 6:39 to go here in the first quarter. You're listening to Rodenbaugh Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
7-0 Plano West on top of Plano East. 6:39 to go first quarter. The sun has set on a gorgeous night for high school football. District 6-6A opener tonight for the Plano West Wolves. Glad you could join us. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. Parker Davidson to tee it up on the near hash at the 40-yard line. Audio Matosho stands at the 5-yard line. Zadok Wilson up top at the 5-yard line up across the way. Davidson's kick, booming end-over-end kick, come down to Omatosho. He's going to just watch it sail, takes one hop all the way through the end zone, as has become customary for Plano West. Another touchback for Parker Davidson. Here comes the Plano East Panthers offense, first and 10 at their own 25.
And Plano West here already drawing first blood. Not only did they defer to where they get the ball first in the second half, but they're also first on the scoreboard. Anytime you can do that, you're always a leg up on your opponent. Anytime you can score first, whenever you know for sure you're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Plano West football tonight broadcast live worldwide on the internet at SportsSoundsRadio.com and on Champion Sports Radio. Miklo Smalls, the third brother in that Smalls family, take the helm at the quarterback position. It was Rico Smalls, who had signed to play at Virginia back in 2009, transferred on to Texas Southern, and his other brother Mario, who was here a couple of years ago. Inside zone play off the left side. There's not much room there for Jaquan Douglas. He has the hat laid to him after a gain of 1.
And again, that linebacking core for Plano West, they are just getting their hats in there in the mix here early in this game. You got Mohamed Sanogo, McKinley Mitchell, Ed Martin. They are all just flying around to the football, and you can tell that this is a rivalry game. And a lot of these kids know each other. You know, they played growing up against each other. Guys like LaBelle Ramsey, Socha Jamambo, they played with some of these guys on the Plano East team. So
4-man front for Plano West. They show pressure. Here comes the handoff to Douglas. He knifes his way forward across the 30 and dives down to the 31. He's going to be about 4 yards shy of a first down. That'll leave Plano East third down at 4. The clock rolling inside 6 minutes, 7 at the Plano West.
LaBelle Ramsey there with a nice tackle to prevent first down yardage. There was some green in front of that running back there if LaBelle Ramsey isn't able to hang on for dear life. And another third down here just like that for Plano East.
Third down and 4. They've gone 3 and out in the first 2 possessions. Handoff off the right side to Douglas. No, here to go! Shot to Smallwood there, and it's a loss of 4 yards on the ground at the 25. They're going to call him down there, but it was shot to Smallwood, who led the charge defensively. The fire plug at 5'6", 225 pounds, got through there, and it'll be another 3 and out for Plano East.
Yeah, what a play there by Shannon Smallwood. He is able to get that little 5'6" frame in between the guard and the center there and make a play, and he was very sure about his tackle as well. And Plano East with yet another punt, and it looks as if Plano West is going to have good field position here once again.
Yeah, 4th down and 8. It'll be the 3rd punt of the night for Landis Durham inside his own 15. This one is a high, towering kick. Travis Traylor's going to allow this one to bounce at the Plano West 46, and it takes a bounce straight up into the air and into the hands of Carson Young. So Plano West will have it 1st down and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Here comes Robert Kilmary, Soso Jamambo. Plano West offense looking to add to the 7-0 lead with 4:46 to go in the first quarter. Different look tonight for Plano West, seeing a Plano East team in that 3-3 stack defensive look. Joey McCullough, talking to him earlier this week, said they'll also show a 4-2-5 defensive look. Caused some problems in the first drive. The second drive, though, Plano West gets on the board. Here's Robert Kilmary. He pulls it down, calls his own number. He's got close to 1st down yardage off the right side into Plano East territory, past the 45. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line to move the sticks.
And Kilmary's so savvy with this offense. He knows whether to pull that ball from Jamambo or not. Every time he's pulled the ball so far, it's been big yardage.
Hurry up offense, now the whistles blow. Did not look like Kilmary had everyone set. Try that little swing pass out here to the near side to Jamambo. They blow it dead.
Prior to the snap, a start, number 81, got set, 5-yard pick, still 1st down.
And that, unfortunately, is the risky run whenever you switch from a slower tempo offense like we've seen the first couple of games for Plano West to this up-tempo offense. A lot of times your quarterback's not aware of who's set and who's not, and unfortunately we've seen it a couple of times thus far where their wide receivers are not yet set. We also saw a left guard flinch there earlier in that first drive.
1st and 15. Kilmary sets his troops, stands in the pocket, delivers, going for a home run. Ball's got Traylor down at the 10. It's knocked away. It was Traylor in one-on-one coverage, and Mark Loveland, the safety, knocked this one away. Traylor had a step on it. Loveland knocks it away. It'll be a 2nd and 15.
And that's really one of the first poorly thrown balls we've seen this season from Robert Kilmary. The first couple of deep balls that we saw out of Kilmary this season were right on the money. That one a little bit underthrown, and Traylor could not make the adjustment. It allowed the defender to get in between the football and his receiver. If Kilmary puts a little more air under that, it's a touchdown.
2nd down and 15. Jamambo stands to the right of Kilmary in the gun. Play action. Kilmary to throw. He's got good time. Now here comes pressure from the backside from Durham. Kilmary escapes to his left, throws near sideline. It's incomplete. It was Yoshe Ali coming back on that little hitch route. The pass protection broke down. He was there at the 35. It's incomplete. It's a 3rd down and 15. Clock stopped at 4:12 to go first quarter.
And a 3rd down and 15 here. I've got to say that you've got to get the ball in the hands of your best player. Look for a wheel route or possibly a screen pass here to Jamambo. And we've seen that wheel in the past and seen it be open for Jamambo. And I think if he gets to the outside and gets a linebacker matched up on him, there's a good chance it'll be open.
3rd and 15 from the Plano East 47. Pressure coming. Play action. Kilmary to throw. There is a screen pass that Jamambo has to go up and make the catch, and he is slung down back at his own 46-yard line. The throw was a little high and off to the left from Jamambo, but they had that sniffed out, and really to the point you're talking about, I think they were on the same page there defensively. Bring up a 4th down and long, and the punting crew is coming on.
Yeah, that was just a great play all the way around by Plano East defense there. You had that linebacker, Anthony Hines, the third, a 6'2", 220-pound sophomore. He was in on the play there, and an outstanding job knowing the situation and knowing, just like we said, they're going to try and get the ball in the hands of your best athlete, and that's Soso Jamambo, and they were well aware of it and sniffed it out.
Here's Fonchuk back at his own 32. Miklo Smalls deep to return. It's a spiraling kick. The nose is up. This comes down to Smalls. Just takes a nosedive. Smalls dives down at the 18 and makes the catch. So Plano East will have it 1st down and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 3:22 to go first quarter. Plano West leading 7-0 on a 2-yard touchdown run by Soso Jamambo on Plano West's 2nd drive of the night. But a different defensive look tonight that Plano East is showing. We thought coming into this might be the best defensive unit that they've seen, and so far that seems to be the case.
Yeah, no question about that. You know, Plano East with just 7 yards of offense to this point. Plano West has 59 yards of offense, and they've been a hard-fought 59 yards, basically all coming on that same drive. So it's been a pretty solidly contested game to this point. Just not much doing for Plano East offensively.
Here comes Miklo Smalls. He tries off right tackle. there is nowhere to go. He is spun down at the 20-yard line, upended right there. It's a short gain of 2 yards, second down and 8.
One thing I've noticed about Miklo Smalls at this point in the game is he does carry the ball a little bit away from his body, so he needs to be careful with the football. Otherwise, you certainly don't want to turn it over at your own 20. If he's going to be haphazard with the football like that, he needs to be careful.
Jaquan Douglas stands to Smalls' right. 3 wide receiver set, a slot set to the left. Smalls to throw, short 3-step drop, fires it out to the near sidelines over the outstretched arms of Omatosho, who stands at 6'3". That ball a good 5 or 6 feet over Omatosho's outstretched arms. Makes it third down and 8.
And the big play there, McKinley Mitchell, the outside linebacker, he comes on a stunt blitz on the outside. He wasn't able to get home, but when Miklo Smalls stood tall to throw that football, McKinley Mitchell jumps up in the air, and his 6'3" frame made him about 8'3", and unfortunately, Miklo Smalls threw it over his receiver's head.
Mitchell showing pressure off the left side, the third down and long, 3 receiver set. Smalls to throw out the flats, incomplete, and he met right there. A punishing shot is put on Cameron Moore. It was Alex Prince who came up from his corner position. Moore did not make the grab, and Prince made him pay for it about the 25-yard line. It's a fourth down and 8.
And still not much doing here for Plano East's offense, and you wonder at what point does head coach Joey McCullough think about going to Miles Thompson to maybe put something different out on the field when they are not really doing anything offensively at this point.
Fourth down and 8, clock stopped at 2:39. First quarter, 7-0 Plano West. Landis Durham to punt. Snap is back, pressure coming. He does get this one away. This one comes down and takes a one-hopper past Plano West Tyler Campbell at the 50. This is going to roll all the way down to the 40, the 35, to the 30-yard line. It was Campbell that time back to receive rather than the customary Travis Traylor.
Yeah, Tyler Campbell upset with himself. He knows he should have come up and fair caught that football. If he does, the ball's at about the 46, 47-yard line. Instead, he loses about 15, 20 yards worth of field position there. The ball rolls all the way back to the 30, and you can see Campbell banging himself on the head there as he walked off the field. He knows exactly what he should have done, and he didn't do it. But we will see what happens here on this drive, as we've got about 2.5 minutes left here in the first.
First down and 10 from their own 30. It's Jamambo straight ahead. Tough running at the 33. He has stood up. It's a short gain of about 3 yards for Jamambo. Trying the inside. Pick up a second down at 7.
And you knew this was going to have to be tough running tonight from Sosa Jamambo with that big front three for Plano East's defense. You've got Landis Durham, who's 230 pounds, Deion Davis, 280 pounds, and Trayvon Ransom, who's 250 pounds. So some big guys up front.
Second down. Here's Jamambo, left side. And he finds a little running room, wiggles his way through, stumbles to the 38 to the 40. Goes to the 42, first down yardage, move the sticks. That first down brought to you by Buford Roofing and Construction. As Plano West gets a first down at their own 42-yard line.
I'm not so sure Plano West isn't running up the middle trying to tire out this defense a little bit, and then in the second, third quarter, they'll go to the outside and let Jamambo get the ball in space.
Hand off straight ahead, Jamambo. He gets to the second level. Look out, he's at the 45, 30. It's a foot race to the goal line. Jamambo's going to win it. So and Plano West is on top 13-0 here in the first quarter with 1:35 to go.
He is just a touchdown machine, is he not? Every time he touches the ball, there is always the chance he is going to go to the house. Right there, he gets a little bit of space up the middle behind Colin Hill, Travis Armstrong, and there was no chance anybody in that secondary was going to catch him once he got free.
13 touchdowns on the young season. Here we are in only the third game of the season. Jamambo has 13 scores. Parker Davidson to kick out of the hole to David Fonchen. Snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is true. It ricochets off of the scoreboard to the north end, and it's 14-0 Plano West. 1:35 to go, first quarter. You're listening to Plano West football. Presentation brought to you by Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances, Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
14-0. Plano West on top. 2 rushing touchdowns tonight by Soso Jamambo have given the Wolves a 2-touchdown lead. Parker Davidson has set it up on the near hash of the 40-yard line.
And this is the point in the game where Plano East really needs to come up with something offensively here, because Soso Jamambo is just so good with the football, and Plano West's offense is so solid whenever they need to score touchdowns, and Plano East really needs to make something happen here offensively, or they're in danger of letting this game get away from them.
Another booming kick off the leg of Parker Davis. Bounces out of the end zone. Plano East again will take over first down and 10 at their own 25. There's an outstanding crowd and scene here tonight between these crosstown rivals.
Yeah, still cars filing into the parking lot, in fact, over there on the far side. So we're still having some late arrivals here. And Soso Jamambo quickly, 8 carries for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns already. So already over a C note tonight for Soso. And not surprising one bit as he ripped off a 484-yard performance last time we saw him. So well on his way to another 300-plus performance here tonight, if not 400-plus.
Came in with 589 yards. He's approaching the 1,000-yard mark. There's a handoff to Jaquan Douglas. Tough running for him. He is met after a gain of 2 yards. It was Jordan Diggs there and on the tackle along with Mohamed Sanogo. Sanogo just a sophomore. You wouldn't know it by looking at him, or by the way he plays.
He is a man, is he not? What a monster. 6'2", 227. That's a full-grown man.
He has got to have.
Is he 16? Maybe?
Does
he have a driver's license?
He's got to have college scouts drooling all over him. We're seeing some sophomores.
I can tell you that if he doesn't drive, he probably just carries some of the guys on his back wherever they need to go. He's gigantic.
He mans that defense at the middle linebacker spot. Here's a second down and 7. It is Miles Thompson as the trigger man. Swing pass out of the backfield. There's nowhere to go. It's a loss of yardage. He was throwing out to Jaquan Douglas off the left side. There are penalty markers down. Douglas just had nowhere to go. He was saying a prayer and ducking as 3 blue jerseys met him in the backfield. There has been a change there at the signal callers. We see Miles Thompson for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I was wondering if we might see that here after those first 3 possessions, because Miklo Smalls, as good of an athlete as he is, he just did not look sharp throwing the football, and I had a feeling we might see Miles Thompson here pretty quick, and that's exactly what we've got here.
Officials are conferring.
To the play. Delay, sideline warning on East. Yard penalty.
Another get-back guy over there.
3rd down. We got a timeout. West. It's their first timeout of the half.
Timeout for Plano West. We'll take that opportunity to step aside as well. 14-0. Plano West on top. 51 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is a second down and a long 17 for Plano East at their own 17. Listen to Plano West football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
14-0. Plano West on top of Plano East. 51 seconds to go first quarter. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. Game 3 of this young season for the Plano West Wolves. The district opener trying to get to 1-0. And 3-0 on the season. So far, a good sign on the scoreboard. 14-0 Wolves. Here comes Miles Thompson and this Plano East Panthers offensive unit. They have it 3rd down. They get 21 from their own 17. Here comes a stretch play near side to Jaquan Douglas. It is strung out. McKinley Mitchell is there on the near sideline, runs him out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And from sideline to sideline, that Plano West Wolves defense has been flying around. It's another 3 and out, their 4th for their 5th of the night.
Yeah, and Lavelle Ramsey there, big number 47, the 6'5", 216-pound senior, led the charge last week with 2 weeks ago, with 9 tackles and 3 tackles for loss against Saxe. He comes from all the way on the other side of the field to run quarterback Miles Thompson almost out of bounds. Thompson able to shake him, but he could not shake McKinley Mitchell right after that. Another 4th down and a mile in another punting situation here for Plano East, and the offensive struggles continue.
4th and 17. Landis Durham back inside his own 10 at the 5 to punt this one away from left to right. Gets this one away. This is a good one to Tyler Campbell. Comes down to 43. Takes it there. Running to his right, trying to get to the wall. There are flags down. Started right, now jumps back to his left. He is met and swarmed and snowed under at the 47. We'll check the flags right here. It does appear to be something on Plano West, whether it's holding or blocking the back.
I'm not so sure that he didn't call for a fair catch and then try and advance the ball. It looked to me like I might have seen a hand go up there. I'm not sure. We'll check the flag and see, but there is always a chance that I am completely wrong. So
my money's on you right here. I think you're right. It did look like Campbell threw that right hand up into the air. We'll check it.
During the return, block in the back. Number 7 on the return team. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
I lost money. So.
Hey, that's all right. That's why pencils have erasers, because we all make mistakes, sir. Let that be a lesson to you kids out there.
I won't be betting on you anymore. But
I wouldn't have done that to begin with. That was your first problem.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for Plano West. Ball at their own 34-yard line. Jamambo to set back to the right. Palmieri rolls to his right. Throws across his body. The left-handed gunslinger completes it out to the 43-yard line on the far sideline. His first completion of the night is Travis Traylor. Throws to a first down. Well, they're going to call it incomplete. Boy, my eyes fell me right there.
Hey, far sideline, and we're getting old.
Well, it looked like Traylor made that catch. He did not. My eyes deceived me. And then 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 21 seconds. Here comes Jamambo. Stretch play to his left. Cuts it back to his right. Look out. 40. 45 across midfield to the 50. Flags are down. And he is wrapped up by the ankles at the 41-yard line. Again, there's that vision of Jamambo on the stretch play to the left. Cuts it back to the right. Will be plenty of yards for a first down. Gain of close to 25. We'll check the flag.
Yeah, and did you see who was out there throwing blocks for his running back? Robert Palmieri. He was about 25 yards downfield throwing blocks. I don't think it's going to matter. I believe it's coming back, but you got to love a quarterback that'll get his uniform dirty down the field blocking for his superstar running back.
Mike Hughes has got his hands raised up in the air.
Holding on the offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty from the spotted foul. 2nd down.
Mike Hughes kind of pleading his case right there. It's going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to come back. It's a spot foul. So it brings it back to the 39-yard line, their own 39. 12 seconds to go, first quarter. 14-0 Plano West. It's a 2nd down and make it 5 for the Wolves offense.
Yeah, and they got Yoshe Ali there on the hold. And unfortunately, the hold wasn't very necessary. It didn't spring Jamambo for any additional yardage. It was when he was almost by Yoshe Ali and his intended blocking target. So
here's a 2nd and long. And this pass is completed out to the 40-yard line of Plano East. Palmieri finds an open Andrew Gillespie into Plano East territory, his longest completion of the night. His first completion proves to be a good one as it moves the chains to the 39-yard line.
And he doesn't have a laser arm by any stretch, but he throws a great ball.
5 seconds to go, first quarter. Here's Jamambo off the right side. Started right, cuts back to his left. He's tackled, gain of 3.
That's the end of the first quarter.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Comes to a close. It's been a good one for Plano West. It's a 14-0 lead for the Wolves over the Plano East Panthers. We'll take a short break, come back with the second quarter. You're listening to the Road Ball Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
14-0 Plano West. We start the second quarter. Wolves now moving left to right. Here comes Palmieri, calls his own number. He is blasted at the 33-yard line. Short gain of 2 yards. Interesting note there is that Soso Jamambo was slow to get up on the previous play. In fact, he was out that last play. Dalvin Billingsley back in. But good sign that Jamambo is back on the field.
Yeah, and this is going to be a hard game for a guy like Soso Jamambo. I mean, he goes 201 pounds, but he is 6'3", so he is kind of a little bit lanky. And that is a big defensive front for Plano East.
3rd down and 5. Palmieri rolls to his right. That pass is nearly kicked off. And it was Plano East Michael Johnson who jumped up and nearly made the pick. There is a flag on the play. Comeri has not thrown an interception this year. That would have been his first. Let's check the flag though right here.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 6 was covered up.
It was Travis Traylor who was covered up by a receiver, could not be down the field. He was an eligible receiver on that play, so they'll bring up the scoreboard shows us third down and 5. Officials now conferring there at where the football is marked at the 34-yard line. Well, if it was third down, you would think it would be fourth down. A play that was an incomplete pass. That play is nullified. It's 14-0 Plano West with 11:31 to go here in the second quarter. Officials still trying to sort it out right here. We talked about the pregame tonight. The trio of talented linebackers from Plano East. I hadn't had a chance to really touch upon them in the game, but talk about some young talent, some guys that Joey McCullough is high on that linebacking core.
Yeah, you've got Grayson Diebenbrock, who's the middle linebacker, who's just a sophomore, and then Anthony Hines, the third, who has apparently, according to his coach, 50 offers already from top programs across the nation. And guess what? He's a sophomore.
Eligible man downfield. Number 6 in the offense was covered up. Penalties refused. Fourth down.
So they do decline it, and it does make it a 4th down and 5.
There we go. Now we've got it all sorted out here. We'll see. It looks to me like Plano West is going to try and maybe go for this here on 4th and 5. They're going to call a timeout and talk it over. I think they may end up going for this one.
Timeout.
Mike Hughes brings his pass over to the near sideline. 14-0 Plano West, 11:31 to go. Ball is at the 34-yard line on the far hash. Kind of a decision-making time here for Mike Hughes. Looks as though he's going to keep that offensive unit out there. We've talked about the kicking game for Plano West and how that could be a big difference maker for them this year. Got a guy like a weapon like Parker Davidson's not attempted the field goal attempt this year. Hadn't really had to, but it's a good weapon to have in your pocket.
Yeah, no question about that. I feel like they might try a field goal here if it wasn't back into the breeze just a little bit. But, it's just a little outside his range, I believe. It'd be about a 51-yarder or so back into a little bit of a breeze. And we saw in pregame he was kicking balls off of a tee from 50-55. So I don't think it's completely out of his range if there was no breeze, but I think it's just a little bit on the outskirts of what he could possibly handle. And I feel like when you've got the group of athletes in a 14-point lead here in the second quarter, 4th and 5, I think you should probably consider going for it on your, when you're on the 45-yard line, especially given that Plano East has really done nothing offensively to this point.
Here comes the Plano West offensive unit back out, a 4th and 5 from the Plano East 35. Pressure coming left side. Comeri stands in the pocket, steps up, delivers, pass is caught by Gillespie, and he holds on. He was hammered at the 21. It was Brandon Wynn on the far side who held on to it. It's a first down. That's a big-time catch right there by Brandon Wynn, the 6'5", 172-pound junior.
Yeah, he took a lick there, too. I was almost certain that ball was going to come out. He caught it, had just enough time to get it secured, and then he was popped. I felt like there was almost no way he was going to hang on to him, but great catch.
Here's Comeri. Takes the handoff to Jamambo on the stretch play, pulls it down. He's inside the 20 to the 18. Gain of close to 4 yards. It's second down and 6 with the clock ticking close to 11 minutes till half. 14-0 Plano West.
Hurrying up again here.
Here they come. 3 receivers set. Stretch play, Jamambo. Now it's going to be Comeri. Pulls it down. 15, 10. Tough running inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. Carrying tacklers. He works his way inside the 10-yard line. First and goal now at the 6.
And we are seeing just a back-breaking drive here for Plano West.
Handoff, Jamambo straight ahead, lowers his shoulders. He gets to the 3-yard line. The linebacking core, led by the middle linebacker Grayson Diebenbrock, is in on the tackle. Here they come again, as they are putting it to the pedal to the metal, and the handoff goes straight ahead to Jamambo. He dances his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Plano West. 10:32 to go. First half. It is 20-0. Third touchdown of the night for Jamambo.
I recommend that next week what we should do is just record our voices saying touchdown so-so Jamambo. We'll just put the tape player in front of the microphones and we'll maybe go out for a beverage or something. What do you think? You got to figure it's going to happen. You're going to be right probably once every 6 or 7 minutes. So
3 touchdowns tonight for Jamambo. Extra point is good. It's 21-0 for the 6'3", 201-pound senior. That is 14 touchdowns. Not quite 2.5 games in this 2014 season in the books yet. 21-0, Plano West on top. To listen to Road Ball Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano West Girls Football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
21-0. Plano West with a commanding lead. 10:32 to go until halftime. 3 touchdowns tonight by Soso Jamambo. It's been that as a storyline as well as just a stifling defensive effort tonight from Plano West. Not a first down yet for Plano East offensively. Nico Smalls started the first 4 series. We saw Miles Thompson on the second on this last series. Right now it is Nico Smalls standing over by his offensive coordinator. Appears to be the man coming in. Parker Davidson from the near hash at the 40-yard line. Right footed kicker booms this one. This one will sail at the 1-yard line and bounce out of bounds. Could not get that one into the end zone. Into the teeth of that 10-mile-per-hour wind. It goes out of bounds. Joey McCullough and his staff will look like just to go ahead and elect rather than have Davidson maybe re-kick it. It appears as though they will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Yeah, and this is such an important drive for Plano East right here. They have got to get something going offensively, or they are in trouble.
Free kick out of bounds.
Blown out here.
On the kicking team. They'll put the ball in play at the 30-yard line. First down.
And you hate to say that this early in the game that a team's in danger of getting blown out. I mean, there's 10 minutes left here in the second quarter, and anything can happen, obviously. But Plano West has been so methodical. Sosa Jamambo is such a huge talent, and Plano East has essentially done nothing offensively to this point. They have 15 total yards of offense to 215 from Plano West, so they've got to come up with something here.
First down and 10. Handoff. It's going to be Nicholas Smalls who pulls it down. Fake the handoff in the zone read. And he is stoned at the 31-yard line. 5 blue jerseys. Wamed Sanogo was there to lead the charge. That was along with Brett Clark from his defensive end spot. Give him forward progress, a gain of 1 off the left side.
Illegal formation on the offense. Too many men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And we're seeing Nico Smalls back in there now after a couple of series with Miles Thompson. And you know, again, switching back and forth. It's hard to get any kind of rhythm going if you're a quarterback, if you are in for 2 series and out for a series and in for a series. And you know, the offensive struggles are pretty apparent to this point for Plano East.
First down and 15 from their own 25. 21-0 Plano West. 10:17 to go first half. Smalls with 2 slots in the backfield. Handoff straight ahead to Trey Hunter, the freshman. He gets first down yardage to the 40-yard line. Knifing his way through. Biggest gain of the night for Plano East. It is the young freshman, 5'10", 170 pounds, who was brought up last week from the junior varsity and gets the first down.
Yeah, and Coach McCullough says he is not scared at all. And clearly right there is that's the best play from scrimmage we've seen here tonight, and it comes from a freshman, Trey Hunter.
2 backs in the backfield. Hunter is stacked in behind the H-back. There's a slot to the left. Receivers split to either side. Stretch play. Hunter in the backfield. He is met and stuffed back at the 31-yard line. Hello, Ed Martin. It is Martin who makes the tackle and a loss of about 8 on the play.
Surprise, surprise, Ed Martin in the backfield once again. How many times have we said that through 2.5 games this year? He is just a stud, and I'm not sure how they didn't convince him to come out and play football last year. He ran track. This is his first year of football here for Plano West, and he has been every bit as advertised, a stud. And we mentioned before the game he was one of the captains. He just looks like a man out there, and he showed it again right there. Ed Martin all year has just been swarming in the backfield.
They list him at 6'1". He looks closer to 6'2", 6'3". He's a $195. He had 3 tackles for loss last week. Play action. Smalls, nowhere to go. More jerseys everywhere. Swallow him up. It's a loss of 1. That charge defensively right there was led by Demaria Lambert and on the tackle. It'll be a 3rd down in forever for this Plano East offense. It'll be a 3rd down to make it 19.
And you want to talk about a situation you don't want to put a sophomore quarterback in. That is a 3rd and long. And this is not just a 3rd and 11 or 12 3rd and long. This is a 3rd and 19 long. So
first time we've seen 4 wides here for Plano East. Hunter is the lone setback. Smalls, three-step drop, pocket collapsing, rolls to his left. He's going to tuck it and run. Nowhere to go. Flag's thrown. It's Alex Prince who comes up from his corner position on the near side to make the tackle.
Yeah, and right there, sorry to step on you there. That's Cameron Moore who ran and just took the legs right out from under Mohamed Sanogo there. Sanogo had his head down chasing the quarterback and got just completely clipped down low, and that's why we get the flag there as Cameron Moore made an illegal block. And that's a dangerous, dangerous play, and you just hope Mohamed Sanogo is okay. He seems to be all right, but got his legs taken out from under him. Really dangerous play there.
Personal foul. Blocking below the waist. Number 14 on the offense. Penalty is refused. Fourth down.
Fourth down. Even the better sign is that Sanogo is okay. He is walking a little bit gingerly, but he remains out there on the special teams unit. Be a fourth down and 13. Plano East will have to punt it. Tyler Campbell back to receive. He stands back at his own 27-yard line with Landis Durham to punt this one away.
And you just can't go low like that on a player that's not paying attention. That's just so dangerous. And not that I blame Cameron Moore. I mean, you can't take a guy that's 235 pounds at 6'2" up high and expect to win that, but dangerous play regardless.
This punt, a knuckleball that comes down to about the 25, taken by Campbell, runs near side to the 30. To the 35 and wrestle down to the 37-yard line. First down and 10 for Plano West at their own 37, leading 21-0. Remind you that Plano West football is broadcast live worldwide on the internet at sportsoundsradio.com and on Champion Sports Radio. Plano West Wolves trying to get to 3-0 and 1-0 in district, taking on a Plano East team that won last week 27-24 over Flower Mountain. First and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Jamambo, the lone running back to the right of Comeri. Three wide receiver set. Comeri, play action. Pump fakes to his right. Pocket collapsing. Throws, finds his man at midfield, and then diving forward into Plano East territory is Christian Gans. That is Gans' first catch of the season. He's good to move from the first down marker.
And it is so nice to have big receivers if you're Robert Comeri. Christian Gans goes 6'4", and Brandon Wynn on the other side goes 6'5". So
here's handoff. Jamambo, look out. He's got first down yards. Slips his way past the 40. Tripped up at the 37-yard line. He makes it look easy. First down and 10 Wolves.
Yeah, and Michael Alleman there saved the touchdown, and it is impressive to watch his acceleration, is it not? I mean, he is just into the secondary so quickly.
Handoff. Jamambo dancing. The skirts a tackle to 35, 30, near sideline, 25, dances away from another tackler at the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Goes Jamambo, another first down, move the chains. And Jamambo beginning to get a feel for this one. He's already got 3 touchdowns, and Plano West is knocking on the door again.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say it enough, and I know our listeners probably get tired of hearing Soso Jamambo, but if you're here watching this, it's so impressive to watch him run. Even when he's bottled up, he breaks tackles. He is just so smooth. It's really incredible to watch.
First and 10 at the Plano East 16-yard line. This time, Jamambo is met in the backfield. It was Austin Corbett who came slamming off the right side, makes a tackle at Jamambo. It's a loss of 1. And now flags fly. Got to think words are being exchanged. It'll be a personal foul somewhere in that pile. Second down 11.
May have seen a helmet on the ground down there. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's somebody with their head down. That's Jamambo's got his headgear off down there. I'm not exactly sure if he got into a little scrap with somebody.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 2 on the defense. After this to the goal. First down.
That's Michael Johnson who gets the personal foul. 6'3", 240-pound senior across that defensive front, which we really thought coming into the game might pose a challenge for this young offensive line, but they've handled that front 3 very well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. And a little bit of a frustration penalty there for Michael Johnson as he took the hands and buried him in the face mask of Soso Jamambo.
First and goal from the 8, handoff to Jamambo, tough running off the right side. He muscles his way forward to the 3-yard line.
I think I'd refer to that more as angry running rather than tough running on that one after he got his helmet taken off there. I think he was a little bit aggravated and took it out on a couple of defenders there for Plano East.
Second and goal. They mark it just inside the 2-yard line. Jamambo stacked to the left of Comeri. Handoff Jamambo. He's upended and just gets inside the 1-yard line as Michael Johnson this time finds his way into the backfield and takes the knees out for Jamambo, leaving the 3rd down and inside the 1-yard line to get to the goal line. Clock ticking at 6:35 to go. Plano West trying to make it 27-0. And out of the game comes Jamambo and Dalvin Billingsley coming in, and now a timeout will be called. So timeout on the field. Mike Hughes brings his offensive unit
Timeout. West. Timeout.
I think maybe Jamamba would be in here on this one. He was coming out to the sidelines. Maybe just Mike Hughes called that timeout in order to get his senior running back back onto the field.
Yeah, sure. I mean, 21-0 game. I mean, you wouldn't consider this to be a vastly important play, but 27-0 certainly sounds a lot better than 21-0. Wanted to talk it over, give his offensive line a little bit of a blow, give Jamambo a breather, and get back out there and see if they can't punch this thing in from the 1-yard line and really, really put Plano East behind the 8 ball here.
It was a 3rd down and goal from the 1. 21-0. Plano West with a commanding lead, looking for more. 6:27 to go until the half. Jamambo is to the left of Colmary. It is Christian Gans who is the slot to the right. Receivers split to either side. Check that. It's going to be Hunter Heckman that they put in at the H-back spot. And now they've still not set the football. Or whistled the play clock to start. That official comes over to talk with Mike Hughes on the near sideline. With a 3rd down and goal, ball just inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, they've got Heckman over there on the right side behind Ichu Kim, the 6'2", 270-pound senior. And Kim, the most veteran offensive lineman here. And then you've got Hunter Heckman, also a senior, goes at 6'4", 205 pounds just behind him. So wouldn't be shocked to see them run right behind that pair.
Here it is, handoff straight ahead. Now it's Colmary who pulls it down and takes it into the end zone. Jamambo was stacked up in the backfield, had his helmet popped off. Colmary pulls it down, and he dances his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Plano West. For Colmary, it's his 3rd touchdown of the year. Make it 27-0. Plano West on top. Extra point coming from Parker Davidson.
Wow, that was Jamambo's helmet that went flying? Whew. Boy.
That was a shot.
I mean, it flew out to the 9-yard line.
Most physical hit we've seen on so through 2.5 games without question.
I think that play originally, before that play, I said look for him to run to the right side. I think that play was originally designed to run over that right side. And Colmary, with the read option, once again, was able to pull it and score the touchdown.
Extra point from Davidson is good. Make it 28-0. Plano West way out in front of Plano East with 6:27 to go until halftime. This is Plano West football. Rotobal's fourth American Appliances presentation of Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Kick from Parker Davidson goes through the back of the end zone. So Plano East will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. It is 28-0 Plano West. We can talk all we want about Soso Jamambo in this offense. And boy, really, I think it stands out tonight. How about the effort defensively that Plano West is getting from this unit of 11 guys defensively?
Silent warning on East. That's their 2nd warning. The next one will be 15 yards.
Both teams with sideline warnings tonight. Now Plano East takes the advantage in that column. Their 2nd of the night.
That's about the only thing they're leading in here tonight, unfortunately, for Plano East is sideline warnings. They've got the advantage there 2-1. But it's been all West to this point. An outstanding performance defensively for Plano West. Again, Soso Jamambo just looks unstoppable. Robert Colmary has done exactly what he needs to do here once again tonight. He hasn't been terribly sharp throwing the football, but converted a couple when he needed to, and then the touchdown run there just a moment ago.
Nicola Smalls back offensively. at the trigger man spot. Hands off inside to Trey Hunter. He slips his way through a tackle, gets to the 23. He'll get a second down and 7. It was Hunter who has the only first down yardage tonight for Plano East, a carry of about 12 yards. And now Hunter sets to the right of Smalls. 3 receivers set. Plano West showing pressure off the edge. Here it comes. Ed Martin. Flags are down. Miklo Smalls going to duck it and run. Escapes one man, but cannot escape the grasp of shot to Smallwood over the 33-yard line. We'll check the flags. It would bring up a third down and 7. Smallwood's had a whale of a game tonight from his defensive tackle position. Tackle for a loss, and there he had a
illegal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties refused. Down.
Bring up a third down and 6, and it speaks volumes for your defense when you're going to give an offense an opportunity at third down and 6. Decline that penalty.
Yeah. And you mentioned Shandon Smallwood. Have you ever heard of a 5'6" defensive tackle at any level?
It's unreal. He's done a phenomenal job. Closest I can think of, Wiley had a kid several years back, Nikita Whitlock, who went on to play at Wake Forest. Wasn't quite 5'6", about 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, that's a big difference. 5'6" and 5'10" is a world of difference.
Third down and 6. Smalls to throw. Here comes the heat. Stands, delivers, passes, caught far sideline. First down yardage, and brought down at the 39-yard line on the hitch route. It was Audio Matosho who makes the catch, his first of the night. First completion for Plano East, and they went 4 quarters without a completion last week. Went the first quarter and a half tonight. This one gets the first down to the 39. First and 10 for Plano East. Clock rolling. 5:22 to go until the half. 28-0 Plano West. Here's Smalls. Keeps it. Nowhere to go. Ed Martin there in the backfield. Second tackle for loss tonight. They're just nowhere to go when Ed Martin, who stands at about 6'2", $195, is just staring you dead in the face right in the backfield, and he gets the tackle for a loss of 2.
Yeah, we'll see here if and when Plano East decides to just say, all right, we've got to start throwing the football all over the field if we're going to try and stay in this thing. They did it on the last play. They go back to the run there, and Ed Martin's right there to meet them for a loss. So every time they've run, they've had not much success.
Second and 11. Here comes Martin again. He's going to bring down Smalls back at the 27. It was Martin along with Lavelle Ramsey from his defensive end position that were there. It was Martin who got there first. It's a sack, and it's a third down. And again, this is forever. It's about 20 yards to get to the first down marker.
Yeah, you get the big completion from Miklo Smalls to Omoda show there a couple of plays back, and then there a huge sack, and again, Plano East just backed up third and a mile.
Third down and make it 18. 28-0 Plano West. You can smell blood. Here comes the heat again. It is Smalls who keeps it off the right side, just a designed run off the right tackle. He gets close to the 40-yard line, past the original line of scrimmage. It was set at the 39. He gets to the 40. It'll bring up a fourth down and 9. Here comes Landis Durham. His right leg has got to be getting tired tonight. He is back onto the field for his 7th punt of the night. And we are just 3:49 to go still in the first half. Durham had come in tonight with just 9 punts on the entire season through 3 games. Good chance he's going to eclipse that tonight.
Yeah, you just kind of feel bad for the kids on Plano East at this point. There's not much doing offensively, and you'd like to see them get a little something going and be able to stay in this game, but at this point it's just been all West they've had, and then he dropped the snap here on the punt.
Durham gets it away. It's kind of knuckleball type action. This is going to take a friendly roll for Plano East at the 20. Angles to the near sideline. 15, 10, down to the 9-yard line. Rolls out of bounds. Durham gets the friendly roll. And Plano West will have a first down and 10 at their own 9-yard line. 3:12 to go on top, 28-0.
And we will see here what Plano West comes up with offensively. See if Kelly Mercer elects to just try and kill some clock with the running game here. I imagine we'll see a lot of the read option with Cole Mary and Jamambo here, and of course Jamambo always dangerous. We saw him take one to the house for 92 yards a couple of weeks back. This would be from 91 yards if he were to break one, so it has happened before.
First down and 10. Jamambo set to the right, stretch play. Colmeri pulls it down, keeps it, escapes a tackle at the 10, 15, stiffs arms a man, cuts back at the 20, angles near sideline, 30, 35, and he is wrestled down finally at the 39. Some nifty running right there from the senior signal caller. And Colmeri moved the chains, first and 10 at the 39.
Yeah, tough running. I mean, He honestly reminds me so much of Tim Tebow. It really is just, it's almost uncanny how much alike they are. The way they carry the ball, just the way they carry themselves, the way they look.
First down brought to you by Flat Shell Service. Here's a handoff to Jamambo. Escapes a tackle, spins out of a tackle at the 40. 45-50 far sideline to the 45-yard line. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line goes Jamambo. That's impressive.
Unbelievable run. Probably the best run we've seen from him all year. I mean, he was bottled up. I have no earthly idea how he got out of that pileup there in the middle of the field and turns what would have been a 2-yard loss into a 15 or 16-yard gain.
Comeri to throw, play action, wide open, and just overthrows his man. He had Andrew Gillespie streaking right down the center of the field at the 25-yard line. Passes incomplete. There are flags thrown on the far sideline. Comeri took a shot. There is a flag, in fact, right behind Comeri at the 49.
We're going to get a late hit here. I'm not sure what the other flag is. We may have offsetting penalties possibly.
It's been a penalty field first half.
2 fouls. And there's one man downfield. Personal foul. Roughing the punter. Number 92 on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
Leon Davis ends up getting a 3-shot on Comeri. That's a load coming towards your backside. Davis stands at 6'2", 280 pounds, just puts his helmet between the 1 and the 6 on Comeri.
And if you think he's big and lumbering at 280 pounds, you would be incorrect. He runs a 5.040, so he is bringing a dump truck size load with him when he comes.
3-man front for Plano East. Pressure coming. Swing pass to Jamambo's. Got it at the 45. A stiff arm and just throws down Plano East corner Delonte Williams. And Jamambo gets out of bounds at the 41. And it'll be a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Clock stopped at 2:27 to go until halftime. 28-0 Plano West.
And we still haven't seen that wheel route from Jamambo yet. Of course, it's 28-0. We may never see it here tonight, but that is in the playbook, so keep your eyes peeled.
Gillespie is the H-back. Play action to Jamambo. Comeri stands. Pressure coming. Steps up. Throws down the right side. And it's incomplete. Flag is thrown, though. He was looking there for... down that right sideline was Bennett DeBrow, who he has not hooked up with DeBrow this year. He was going for the home run ball. That flag kind of thrown in the vicinity of pass interference.
And these officials are going to have to replace these flags at halftime. They've got to be getting frayed at this point. I've never seen so many flags in the first half, especially for a game that's 28-0.
Defensive holding. Number 9 on the defense on our eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
On Jordan Williams' call for defensive holding. Move the chains again. That first down brought to you by Rodenbaugh's. Plano West first down and 10 at the 31-yard line of Plano East. Clock is at 2:27.
We really want to make some money. We should start advertising for penalty flags thrown. There's another one. That penalty flag brought to you by...
No doubt. There they are once again. And Jamambo was slung down in the backfield, loss of 2. I don't know. Penalty flags or Jamambo touchdowns. I don't know if Jamambo can keep up with the penalty flags numbers, but his numbers are pretty impressive. Once again, flags on the play. You knew there was going to be a lot of talking tonight between these two teams, crosstown rivals. These guys have grown up playing one another. Joey McCullough, who spent 12 years on the sidelines of Plano West.
After the play,
Plano East.
Dead ball, Saturday morning on West. That's their second warning. The next one results in a 15-yard penalty.
You made mention of it earlier. The get back guy on both sides is in some hot water.
I'm telling you, they are going to have a stern talking to with their get back guy at halftime. Both of these head coaches. If I'm the coaches at this point, I think I have them back behind that yellow line that's the out-of-bounds marker for the soccer field.
2nd down and 20. Comeri to throw near sideline. Hitch pass caught by Traylor. Escapes a tackle to 30. Dances and weaves his way inside the 25. Ball will rest right at the 25-yard line. Solid gain of 15. Gets to the 25. Will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
See, that's a play that's not going to, they're not going to write any articles about it afterwards. Nobody's really going to talk about that play, but it makes it a 3rd and manageable rather than a 3rd and very long.
Jamambo set to the left. He's out of the backfield on a pass route. The pass is thrown over the middle. Pass is caught by Ali. 10, 5, touchdown Plano West. Yoshe Ali, his first reception of 2014, goes to the house and make it 34-0. Plano West with 1:43 to go until halftime.
Yoshe Ali there just very, very crisp route. He was able to get out into the flat, put his foot in the ground, make a very, very nice break there. And Cole Mary, again, right on the money. He's not flashy, but when he has to throw the ball, he is very, very accurate.
Ali with a touchdown, a 5'10", 144-pound senior. Gets the score. Jamambo has 4 touchdowns tonight. Finally, somebody else besides Soso Jamambo hits pay dirt. Extra point is good. It is 35-0. Plano West well on their way to a 3-0 mark and 1-0 in district. You're listening to Plano West Wolves football, presented by Road Ball Flooring America and Appliances on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
35-0 Plano West with 1:43 to go first half. Storyline tonight, 4 touchdowns for Soso Jamambo, and it has been a swarming Plano West defense tonight. It has allowed just 1 first down. Ed Martin has kind of highlighted that defense tonight. A couple of tackles for losses. A sack. Well, I misspoke. I said 1. You got it down over officially 3 first downs for Plano East.
No, 3 touchdowns for Jamambo.
3 touchdowns.
You've also got the one keeper from Robert Cole Mary as well, and then Yoshe Ali.
That's right. Comes the kick down to Omatosho, bounces it for 1, and this will roll into the end zone. Plano East will take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And since you mentioned first downs, I can give you that as well. Plano East with 2, and they have 42 total yards. On the other side, Plano West 352 total yards, and in the first half here tonight, 19 first downs. So incredibly lopsided. You know, it's just been all Plano West. There's really no other way to describe it.
It's an offense that is on the season has averaged 631 yards a game, 54 points a game. I think those numbers will be close to those marks tonight. Trey Hunter is the running back, freshman known as Jaquan Douglas, rather. He is stacked up, just nowhere to go. That defense is not letting up. Mohamed Sanogo is there, and Martin, along with that defensive front, gain of 1.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of collisions like that where you've got a freshman running back in Trey Hunter and then a sophomore middle linebacker in Mohamed Sanogo. You're not going to see a freshman and a sophomore that are this good meet each other in the hole too often at this level.
Second down and 9. Niccolo Smalls in the backfield. Handoff, right side, nowhere to go. Jaquan Douglas slung back at the 17-yard line. Who else? Nobody else other than Ed Martin there to make the tackles. We get inside a minute.
You have yourself a game, Ed Martin. He is just piling up tackles for loss. Also got a sack mixed in there. He is making his case for player of the game here tonight. I think at this point, defensively, he's got to be in the conversation as he's just piling up numbers here this evening.
Ed Martin, a guy who transferred last year in from Denver out of Thomas Jefferson High School. Came in tonight, 14 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Tonight already 3 tackles for loss and a sack. Clock is rolling inside 32 seconds. There's 5 seconds on the play clock. They always probably let this tick down and take a timeout. They will. 26 ticks left on the clock. Third down and 15. 35-0 Plano West.
It's their first charge.
We'll step aside with them. We'll be back at the final seconds here of the first half. 35-0 Plano West on top. You're listening to the Road Ball Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
35-0 Plano West. Well out in front of Plano East. 25 seconds to go first half. Plano East with the football. Third down and a long 15 out of a timeout. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. District 6-6A opener for Plano West. Plano East comes in tonight 1-0 in district. Looks as though they'll be headed to 1-1, and Plano West well on their way to a 1-0 start. Low snap to Smalls. Here comes the heat. McKinley Mitchell is there. He gets out of McKinley Mitchell's grasp, throws far sideline, pass incomplete. He was looking for Zadok Wilson before the pressure was coming. He was under duress. It's incomplete. It's a 4th down and 15 with 17 ticks on the clock.
And a very athletic play there from Miklo Smalls as he is able to evade McKinley Mitchell's efforts there, rolls to the right side, and really fires a very, very good ball to Zadok Wilson. And Wilson just got over his head just a touch, and he was unable to get up the ladder and make the catch. But nice athletic play from the sophomore quarterback, Miklo Smalls. And you can see what he is able to do if he's given a little bit of time and he's able to get his feet moving and move outside the pocket. A great throw there, just unfortunately falls incomplete.
Play clock has not started. Now it begins to roll. Landis Durham stands back at his own 5-yard line. 4th down and 15. Play clock at 17. Game clock is stopped at 16. Pressure coming. Durham gets this one away. It's a spiraling kick. Noses up. Bobbled by Campbell. And he is clipped at the 45-yard line, brought down there with 8 seconds left to go until halftime. The offensive unit will come back on.
I'm imagining we'll probably see just a quick knee here and take it on to the half. I don't see any reason to get froggy and try and score any points here up 35-0 with 8 seconds left. I'm thinking we're going to see a quick victory formation knee tap from Robert Colmary. It looks like that's what we're going to have.
A lot of respect in this opposite sidelines tonight. Mike Hughes, in 13th year at Plano West. Joey McCullough, who's in his first season at Plano East, who was a 12-year assistant for Mike Hughes. In fact, Mike Hughes talked about him being the first coach that he hired when he took the job. They do take the victory formation. Robert Colmary just takes a knee, and that will bring us to the half. It has been all Plano West tonight. 3 touchdowns from Soso Jamambo, 1 from Colmary on the ground and through the air. And it has been a suffocating Plano West defense in the first 24 minutes. 35-0, Plano West well out in front of Plano East. This is Plano West football presented by Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
35-0. Plano West well out in front of Plano East as we get to halftime here on the Buford Roofing and Construction halftime show on Sports Sounds Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. It has been all Plano West really from the get-go. Struggled offensively in the early going, and will not take us through tonight's scoring summary through the first 24 minutes.
Appreciate you, my friend. I'm glad to be here tonight, by the way. Nice night for football. The game's been a little bit lopsided at this point, but, it's always fun when you get to watch a guy like Sosa Jamambo run the ball, and you get to see these kids out here really enjoying themselves. And the fans are enjoying it as well. Well, the Plano West fans are at least enjoying it, but Plano East, a lot of football left to be played. But let's take it through the scoring summary here quickly. Plano West starts the scoring with 6:39 remaining in the first quarter. It's a Soso Jamambo 1-yard TD run. The PAT from Parker Davidson is good. That makes it 7-0. Plano West again with 1:35 remaining in the first quarter. It's Jamambo this time from 58 yards. And the Davidson kick once again true, making it 14-0 for Plano West. In the second quarter, we've got Soso Jamambo scoring from 3 yards out with 10:32 remaining in the first half. That makes it a 21-0 score after the Parker Davidson kick. You've then got a 1-yard touchdown run from Robert Colmary with about 6.5 minutes remaining there in the first half of play. Again, Davidson makes good on the PAT, and that makes it a 28-0 lead for Plano West. And again, it's Plano West with 1:43 remaining. It's a Yoshe Ali touchdown reception from Robert Colmary, and Davidson again with the PAT, and that's where we stand now at 35-0. Plano West leading Plano East at halftime. And if you want, we can take a quick break, come back and do some stats after that. Or
absolutely, sounds great to me.
Rock.
It's been all Plano West, 35-0. Still 24 minutes of action left to go in this one. It looks like Plano West will be heading to 1-0 in District 6-6A action for Plano East. A 1-0 mark coming into tonight, but in trouble here in the early going. More to come, a statistical breakdown coming up next year on the Buford Roofing and Construction halftime show on SportsSoundsRadio.com and Champion Sports Radio.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
And welcome back here to John Clark Stadium as it's Plano East and Plano West here tonight, and Plano West with a 35-0 lead at the half. Got the bands down on the field. I'm Eli Jordan. Going to bring you some halftime statistics now. Let's get you updated on all of that good stuff. Total yards, it's been all Plano West, 352 total to Plano East's 37. A 19 first down first half for Plano West. Plano East with just 2 first downs there in the first 24 minutes of play. 274 rushing yards for Plano West, just 22 for Plano East. And as far as pass yards go, Plano West 78 and Plano East with just 15. 8 punts for Plano East and just 2 for Plano West. 324 punting yards in the first half of Plano East. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of yards through the air. Unfortunately, not from the arm of Miklo, but from the leg of their punter, unfortunately. But no fumbles by either team there in the first half, and no interceptions as well. So a relatively clean first half in the way of turnovers, but penalties, not so much. Plano West with 8 penalties for 50 yards, and Plano East with 4 penalties for 33 yards, so 12 total penalties there in that first half. Plano West, passing-wise, Robert Colmary, a 6 for 12 performance for 78 yards. He does have the 1 touchdown to Yoshe Ali. Rushing yards, Soso Jamambo, once again, 19 carries for 183 yards. He's got 3 TDs on the ground, going for 9.63 per carry here tonight. Robert Colmary also has 10 carries for 91 yards, including that long 35-yarder that we saw him rip off there in the second quarter. He has 1 rushing touchdown from a yard out as well. Plano West receiving a whole slew of guys with 1 reception, including Yoshi Ali, Andrew Gillespie, Christian Gans, Travis Traylor, Brandon Wynn, and Soso Jamambo. They've all got 1 catch. Yoshi Ali leads the way with that 125-yard touchdown reception. So you got to love the way Robert Colmary, when he does pass the ball, he's distributing it about his receivers. He's not just staring one guy down. He is hitting all of his different targets. So for Plano East, the numbers offensively, quite frankly, not much to report here. Miklos Smalls, 1 completion out of 6 attempts. It went for 15 yards. And then rushing attempts, the Anthony Thomas 3 carries for 10 yards. He leads the way. Miklos Smalls 10 carries for 7 yards. And Jaquan Douglas has 9 attempts for just 5 yards. So not much going. And just 1 reception through the air for Plano East. It's a 1 catch for 15-yard performance there in the first half by Omotosho. So it's not much doing in the way of offense for Plano East. There's really no other way to put it. I mean, I'm not trying to harp on it or take anything away from Plano East, but they just could not get much going offensively there in the first half. And in Plano West, they did everything they needed to do other than the penalties. 8 penalties for 50 yards, but when the opposing offense isn't doing much, the penalties aren't going to hurt you near as bad, and that's what we saw there in the first half.
Those numbers that you talk about on the defensive side for Plano West, what they've been able to do tonight, really makes you think, what was the last couple of weeks for this defensive staff, John Bandy and, of course, Mike Hughes at the head coach position. With what happened 2 weeks ago, even though they won, Mike Hughes talked about how that defensive secondary had been torched for 448 yards. They faced a terrific offense 2 weeks ago, Garland-Saxon. But you had to think with the off week, that they really probably challenged that defensive unit. You're seeing a group of guys tonight that are fiery and flying around all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. They did face a great offense a couple of weeks ago. You've got the Duvernay brothers, who are both Division I talent type guys, and those are guys that can make a defense look bad, quite frankly. And West's defense didn't look bad per se, but they certainly didn't look sharp a couple of weeks back. Luckily, the offense scored enough points on the back of Soso Jamambo's 486-yard performance that the defense didn't need to be tip-top that night. Now, again, tonight, the offense is doing their job, so the defense probably didn't need to be tip-top once again, but they have played absolutely wonderfully here tonight, not giving an inch at all to Plano East's offense. And, you've seen Miklos Smalls, the struggle that they have had offensively, and you hate to see that for these kids just because it is so disheartening to go out there and be able to really do nothing offensively. But a great job here from Plano West. They've done an awesome job tonight, and I expect to see much of the same there in the second half.
Despite all the troubles that Plano East is going through, talking to Joey McCullough this week, really excited about, I think, a couple of things. One, that he's back where he started, he graduated from Plano East, so excited to kind of come back home to his alma mater. But you talk about a young, talented football team. They're going to go through some ups and downs, but a team that I think will be on the rise. In fact, Mike Hughes said he'll have them back on the map to where they were several years ago as one of the top teams that you found in the state of Texas. He's got a lot of young kids coming up in this program.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, just going across the offensive line, your center's a junior. Dane Cordell, he's just a junior. Bryson Royer, right guard, he's just a junior. You've got Miklos Smalls, just a sophomore. And at times, he has shown flashes of being very, very solid. We saw a very similar situation with Mesquite a few weeks back with their sophomore quarterback. So these sophomores, a lot of times, they look overmatched. And quite frankly, that's something that you would expect to see out of a sophomore quarterback. These kids aren't Kyler Murray, where they can step in as a sophomore and just be electric and look like they're on a totally different level. Miklos Smalls, he's going to have some struggles as a sophomore quarterback, as you would expect. But they've got Zadok Wilson, who's a junior. One of their wide receivers, Omotosho, he is just a junior and committed to play at Duke, so they've got another year with him. Cameron Moore, just a sophomore. Deontay Powell, the running back, just a junior. We saw Trey Hunter there in the first half, and of all the guys we saw offensively from Plano East, arguably Trey Hunter had the most success as just a freshman. So you can see where a guy like Trey Hunter, if he were to stay in the same backfield with Miklo Smalls, when Smalls is a senior, you've got Trey Hunter as a junior, they could be very dangerous 1-2 punch, and then you've got some other guys that are very, very solid, and like you said, a young team. And at this point, down 35-0 to a very, very veteran team with Soso Jamambo, it's going to be hard to compete. They need to try and just take some positives away from this second half and try and make some positive plays and see what they can get done. And then, go to the videotape and break it down and see where they can improve. And that's the name of the game at this level, especially when you're running a sophomore quarterback out there. Just look at the tape. What can I improve on going forward?
35-0, our score right here, Plano West at the half, about 15 minutes away from kicking off the second half. We come back, we'll take you around the Metroplex, tell you about the action that occurred last night, some big games, especially down in Waco last night at McLean Stadium. We'll tell you about Cedar Hill, or rather DeSoto on the road to take on Cibolo still last night. The Thursday night action will get you caught up on all the scores. Allen and Plano were here last night. We'll also tell you about everything that's going across the Metroplex here tonight. Friday night football. What better time in the state of Texas, and some terrific games happening tonight. We'll tell you about those coming up next on the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show. We're listening to Plano West Wolves football on ChampionSportsRadio.com and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at Isaac.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Back to Park Stadium in Plano, Texas, 35-0 Plano West all over Plano East tonight. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan. Welcome you into the Buford Roofing and Construction Halftime Show as we get you caught up on high school action across the BFW. Let's start with last night right here at Clark Stadium. Defending state champions Allen 42-3 over Plano. For the Eagles, 520 yards of offense. Plano, on the other hand, held to 149. And, of course, it is Kyler Murray, whose name is synonymous with Allen Eagles football for the last 3 years. He was the show last night, 329 yards through the air, throws a pair of touchdowns, also runs for a couple more. Big performance out of Kyler Murray as Allen cruises to another victory. They're 4-0 on the season and now 2-0 in district play. Elsewhere in District 11, 6A, Rockwall, big winners last night over North Garland, 58-7. It was the Yellow Jackets defense, the story of the night. They held North Garland to 151 yards of offense. They do not give up a score until the final 50 seconds of that game as Rockwall cruises to a 58-7 victory. Other non-district action, probably the biggest game to speak of down in Waco, Texas at McLean Stadium. They're on the campus of Baylor University. DeSoto 29, Cibolo still 24. DeSoto quarterback Jalen Nelson throws for 240 yards in that one. Also runs for 111. accounts for all 4 touchdowns. And it was the Eagles who had to hold off Cibolo still with a goal line stand in the final seconds as the Eagles, led by head coach Claude Mathis, improved to 4-0 with a 29-24 victory over Cibolo still. Also non-district action, Mansfield 27-6 over Fort Worth Eastern Hills. Mansfield now 3-1 on the season. Fort Worth Eastern Hills, they fall to 0-4. Dallas Spruce, big win last night over Pinkston, 35-8. And then one other score to make mention of, a couple of teams that you regularly see as postseason teams, even teams that might make a run deep into the postseason. Dallas Lincoln, Dallas Carter. Not really the case this year. Both teams coming in last night looking for their first win. And it's Lincoln that gets it by the narrowest of margins, 24-23 over Dallas Carter. It was Devondrick Bynum getting into the end zone with 2:14 to go in the fourth quarter for Lincoln. They go on to convert the 2-point conversion to take the lead 24-23. Lincoln had to come back in that one. They were down 23-14 at halftime. They come back, they get the victory. They shut out Carter in the second half. They get their first win of the season. As for Carter, uncharacteristically, they dropped to 0-4 on the season. That's last night's action. Eli's going to take us through what's happening tonight around DFW here on Friday Night Football.
Thank you, Reagan. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's get you started right here in District 6A. McKinney-Boyd, they are all over Flower Mound tonight. That game at halftime, 37-0. Boyd leads it. Hebron looking for their first win of the season. They are also at halftime. They lead Flower Mound Marcus by a score of 21-7. Let's take you down to District 11, 6A. You've got Garland 21-14 over Garland, Naaman Forest. You have a 14-10 lead for Rowlett over Garland Lakeview. That game also approaching halftime. And then Garland Saxe, who we saw a couple of weeks ago in non-district play from Plano West, they lead Tyler Lee. That's out at Tyler Rose Stadium in Tyler. They lead at 28-21 that game at the half. District 9, 5A. Frisco and the Colony all tied up in the fourth quarter. They are tied at 7. Frisco Heritage and Frisco Centennial. Centennial leads that one 17-14 up at Toyota Stadium. Little Elm all over Frisco Independence in the fourth quarter, 39-6 the score there. And also in the fourth quarter, you've got Frisco Lone Star. They have a narrow 1-point lead over Frisco Liberty. District 14, 5A, Mansfield Timberview, 21-7 over Arlington Sagan. That's a 21-7 lead in the second quarter. You've got Mansfield Lake Ridge up 12-7 over Lancaster. That game also at halftime. You've got Mansfield Legacy up 10-3 over Waxahachie. That down at Mansfield's R.L. Anderson Stadium. That game in the third quarter. And Mansfield Summit all over Red Oak 42-7. Let's get you into some non-district games now going on. You've got South Grand Prairie up 28-10 over Abilene Cooper. That game in the second quarter. You've got Graham and Argyle all tied up at 14 in the third. Colleyville Heritage and Arlington Bowie. Bowie up 21-14 in that game over at Grapevine's Mustang Panther Stadium. That game at halftime. Bishop Dunn all over Roosevelt tonight. That game in the second quarter is 50-0. Bishop Dunn leads Roosevelt. You've got Decatur up 20-13 on Carroll Ranchview. Capel and Cedar Hill. This is a close game. 26-20 in the second quarter. Bishop Lynch up 13-7 on Salina. Waco Midway all over Duncanville 35-14. Just a couple other scores we want to get you here. South Oak Cliff all over ODY at 42-7. And you've got Richland and Grand Prairie also going at it tonight over at Birdville Fine Arts Athletic Complex. 17-7. Richland leads that one in the third quarter. LD Bell and Abilene. No score to show there just yet. That game out in Abilene, so a little bit late reporting there, so not getting any updates from that one. Lake Dallas up 21-14, over Dallas Kimball. You've got Kennedale 35-0 in the second quarter over Kaufman. And one final score here, we will get you Wilmer Hutchins up 16-0 over Madison. And that will wrap it up there for the out-of-town scores and the in-town scores and all around the Metroplex and elsewhere as well. So back to you, man.
Most important score right now that we can tell you about, Plano West Wolves fans, 35-0. The Wolves are well out in front of Plano East tonight, facing the crosstown rivals in Plano East. Well, we'll take a break here, and when we come back, we'll talk about the second half, what to expect in the second half. With Plano West well out in front, 35-0. You're listening to Buford Roofing and Construction halftime show on the Road Boss Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano ISD football here on SportsSoundsRadio.com and Champion Sports Radio.
Located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, Gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here.
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org. If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need Stacky. The simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball, produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports, send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. Stacky is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com.
This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.
35-0 our score here at the half. Plano West with a commanding lead over Plano East. You're listening to Buford Roofing and Construction halftime show here on SportsSoundsRadio.com and Champion Sports Radio. Glad you could join us tonight. Reagan Radcliffe along with Eli Jordan. Game pretty well in hand here for Plano West. I think there's no arguing there. But as we look ahead, maybe the keys to the second half, starting with Plano West, I think the biggest question becomes, how long do you leave your big guns in there like a Soso Jamafo, Robert Palmieri, and the defensive guys before you start seeing some of those reserves?
Yeah, as you move forward in district play, obviously with a 35-0 lead here tonight going to the second half, you wonder how long you will see those guys. You wonder how long your head coach will leave their starters in. And I think you'll probably see them for the majority of the third quarter, and then you'll probably start seeing some of them come out, depending now. I mean, East could score 3 quick touchdowns, and you never know. I mean, if this thing becomes 35-21 in a hurry, you're going to be forced to leave those starters in there for as long as you can. But East hasn't done much offensively to this point, so it would be hard to imagine that happening. But I think you'll probably see them for a good bit of that third quarter. But, we'll see.
For Joey McCullough, we talked in the pregame show, one of the big storylines tonight, Joey McCullough, who spent his high school days at Plano East, played on the 84-85 team, graduated in 86. He was a long-time assistant at Plano West. In fact, when the program began, Mike Hughes, that was his first hire when he took over the program. He spent 12 years roaming the sidelines with Mike Hughes at Plano West. He returns this year to Plano East, his first season in his alma mater. It's going to be a frustrating night for him. But as he gets into that, comes out of the locker room with his kids tonight, down 35-0. What are you looking for him to do and try to establish something positive as he goes forward tonight?
Well, let's make no mistake here. Joey McCullough is an outstanding head coach. And he's got a very young team offensively, and defensively they are facing a very dynamic Plano West offense. I think second half you really just need to get back down to basics, work on blocking, tackling, running the proper plays, throwing and catching the football. We've seen nothing but difficulty offensively for Plano East tonight. Miklo Smalls, just try and figure out a way to get him moving a little bit and find a way to get him some time in the pocket to distribute the football, run Trey Hunter, get him some game experience against a very, very good defense. He's a freshman, so any kind of experience he can get is only going to be a benefit to him. And other than that, just try and do things that are positive, whether that's first downs, 5-yard gains, just positive yardage, positive plays, and then get to the film room and break down what you did right and what you did wrong. And obviously in that first half, there's a lot of things that they did not accomplish that I'm sure they'd like to have accomplished. But in the second half, they just need to really concentrate on blocking, tackling, doing the basic things, and trying to make positive plays. And that's really where it starts.
Plano West had won the toss to begin the game. They elected to defer, kicked off to Plano East, forced a 3 and out. Lead 35-0. They will get the football here to start the second half. Plano East will kick it off. Plano West will be moving from left to right. The Wolves will defend the north end zone. Back deep to receive for the Wolves. Mark Cook stands on the near hash around the 15-yard line. And it's Tyler Campbell on the far hash around the 13. Plano East kicker Henry Matson to tee it up from the 40-yard line. Cooks and Campbell back to receive. Still a strong crowd on hand here tonight at Clark Stadium. Well over 10,000 plus. Here's an end-over-end kick that'll come down to Campbell at around the far side of the 9. Angles towards the numbers. Got to see him at the 20, 30, 45, 40. Got to weaves his way in and out of traffic. The 45, the 40, down to the 35-yard line goes Campbell. And a terrific start for the Wolves offense as he gets all the way out to the 35-yard line of Plano East.
Yeah, and again, Plano West right there just returns the kick to the Plano East 36-yard line. So right out of the gates, you're seeing Plano West again with one of those positive plays. And for Plano East, the struggles continue, and we'll see what they do here defensively.
1st and 10. Those are the football rest at the 35-yard line on the far hash. Plano East shows a 4-man defensive front. 2 linebackers in that 4-2-5 look. With the slot is Andrew Gillespie. Jamambo stands to the left. Comeri's going to throw wide open across the middle for 20 was Gillespie, and he drops it. And may have felt the presence there of the safety in Mark Loveland, who was in his vicinity.
From up here, it looked a little bit like that ball may have been tipped at the line. It kind of got wonky. Either that or Comeri threw a real wobbling pass there. A tough catch for Gillespie in any event. I don't know that was an easy catch for him to make. The ball was wobbling pretty good. I think it may have been tipped at the line.
Logan Williams beginning to warm up for Plano West would indicate that this may be the lone drive for the starting crew for Plano West. Here's a handoff straight ahead of Jamambo. He's stacked up. There's a stiff arm. Gets out of a tackle. Weaves and bobs his way to the 32. Gain of 3. But what do you know? There's flags on the field, and it's holding against Plano West. Mike Hughes, with his body language, clearly doesn't agree with the call.
I'm sure that was something they had preached in the locker room at halftime, was the discipline and the penalties there in the first half, and didn't take long for a penalty here in the second half.
He will back it up 10 yards. Plano East will accept the penalty gladly.
Holding on the offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Right guard, Ed Alonso.
Second down.
We have a second down at 20. 35-0 Plano West. First drive here the second half for the Wolves. Trips to the far side. One receiver up top. Jamambo is the lone setback. Comeri under pressure stands in the pocket, and he is snowed under back at the 46-yard line. And he actually somehow moves that pile forward to the 42-yard line. He had Austin Corbett on his back, and somehow takes Corbett for a ride for a gain of close to 3.
You got to love the pocket presence there of the senior quarterback, Robert Comeri. He felt the pocket collapse. He ducked under the pressure and was able to pick up a little bit of yardage out of that pile up there. But outstanding job there from Comeri.
Third down and along 17. Colmary's going to call his own number off left tackle. He's got room to run. 35-30. First down yardage. He's at the 20, the 10 to the far sideline, 5 and touchdown. Colmary takes it 37 yards to the house, and Plano West has a 41-0 advantage over Plano East.
And Logan Williams might want to get that headgear strapped on. I think we may see him their next offensive possession. He's, like you mentioned, been warming up down here on the near sideline. I think his number may be called here quicker than he had thought.
41-0. All Plano West. And it is Parker Davidson on to attempt the extra point to make it 42-0. Down a fourth down and a long 17. Colmary takes it off the left side. Second rushing touchdown tonight for Colmary. The kick is up from Davidson. It's good. 42-0. All Plano West. That drive took them all of 1 minute and 10 seconds. We're listening to Rodenbach Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
42-0 Plano West all over the Plano East Panthers tonight. Touchdown run by Robert Colmary at 37 yards. Here's Parker Davidson's kickoff. The Audio Matos show. He'll watch it bounce and skip out of the back of the end zone. Once again, another touchback. Parker Davidson tonight, 6 touchbacks on 7 kickoff attempts. The one time that he did not get it to the back of the end zone, he put it out of bounds at the 1 yard line, which resulted in a penalty. So here comes Plano East offensively, huddled around offensive coordinator Brad Bailey on the far sideline. See if they bring out Miklo Smalls or if it'll be Miles Thompson, the trigger man. It will be Thompson to start here in the third quarter. Have not been able to get any sort of offense going tonight. In the backfield is Jaquan Douglas, set to the left, trips up top with a lone receiver set to the far side of the right, and Tim Hansen. Here's a handoff right side to Douglas, sprinting off right tackle to 29, upended by Wamed Sinogo is there on the tackle, along with McKinley Mitchell.
Yeah, we see Miles Thompson now in there, so it appears that we will continue with the rotation of quarterbacks experiment for Joey McCullough. Miklo Smalls, of course, got the start tonight and appeared to have taken the lead for the starting job, but we've now seen Miles Thompson a couple of times tonight, so it appears that McCullough is rethinking that.
Here's a handoff to Douglas, trying to get in behind the H-back on the right tackle. Nowhere to go. Stood up at the line of scrimmage, and it was the defensive end, Lavelle Ramsey, who was there. It stood up, that right offensive tackle, and Trayvon Ransom. It's a no gain. It's 3rd down and 6.
We're seeing the starters still in there for Plano West. Lavelle Ramsey and Wamed Sinogo. Ed Martin still on the field as well, along with McKinley Mitchell at linebacker. So starters still in the game here for West's defense.
3rd down and 6 from their own 29-yard line. Thompson, the throw, heat coming. Lavelle Ramsey breathing down his neck. Here comes Thompson. He's going to run for it, close to first down yardage. Escapes out of the pocket to 35 to 36. He's got first down yardage. There's a man down for Plano West, just in front of their sideline at top of the numbers. What looks to be Tyler Campbell, the safety, who's down on the knee. But it is a first down as Thompson escapes the grasp. It would look like Lavelle Ramsey had a shot at getting the sack on Thompson. Looks like he slowed up a little bit on him.
Yeah, I think he did have a shot at him there, and you could also see Ed Martin. You could tell that he has run some track in his day. He fell back into coverage and then saw when when Miles Thompson broke contain, he was able to run sideline to sideline just about as quick as anybody we've seen this season. So definitely the track star in Ed Martin coming out there.
Campbell is sitting down just atop the 30-yard line. Helmet is off, being attended to by the trainers. Mike Hughes is there on a knee to look at him. And the one thing about this Plano West, as we talk about Campbell, who's a safety who's down, Mike Hughes talked about at the beginning of the year, he feels like he's got a lot of depth in that secondary. I don't want to see any kid get hurt, but they've got some depth in that at that particular spot. Hopefully Campbell is just fine. Sitting up and talking, they've got some tremendous talent back there in the back end.
Yeah, no doubt. And Campbell now standing up on his own. He's as if he's about to try and make his way off the field here, so a little bit of a limp, but
it is Plano West Malik McLemore who will come in. Actually, it will be Justin Fisher who takes over at that spot for Campbell, who comes off. Campbell is he had gotten up now and kind of punched back over and being attended to. Is 9:32 to go here in the third quarter, 42-0 Plano West. Both teams have taken a knee on either sideline. Plano East is huddled up on a knee just beyond the 35-yard line.
It's hard to tell what happened there to Campbell. I'm not sure. I hate to speculate what's going on with him, but he did stand up for a moment and look as if he was going to try and make his way off the field, and then went back down to a knee, and now they're tending to him just a couple of yards from where he was before.
As they attend to Campbell, still is punched down on a knee. Now he begins to stand up, and Campbell will walk off on his own accord, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, not sure if maybe he got his bell rung there a little bit. He's having a little trouble gathering himself, but he's made his way to the sideline here on his own. So
Campbell comes over. Good sign is that he is able to walk off under his own free will. So here we go. First down and 10 for Plano East after the first down run by Miles Thompson. 5'11", 175-pound junior is the quarterback. Zone read, handoff straight ahead. Running room for Jaquan Douglas. He gets across the 45 to the 48. Maybe he gets to the 48, that's a first down. It's awfully close. It is a first down. They wouldn't have to measure. Back-to-back first downs by Plano East. And this is the finest offensive possession they've had tonight.
In danger of marching into Plano West territory here for the first time in a while.
Three receiver set, handoff. Douglas starts to his right, tries to bounce outside. He is met running over a tackler at the 45 to the 42-yard line. He just lowered his shoulders. That's the most physical run tonight we've seen from Jaquan Douglas, a 5'9", 165-pound senior. He had 32 carries for 320 yards against Jesuit in week 2. So highly talented running back. Has not been able to get on track tonight, but that was a solid run.
Yeah, Douglas, I mean, you can see that he has got some explosive ability. Runs a 4.5 40, and you can tell if he gets into the open field, he is going to be dangerous.
First down and 10. Pressure is shown off the edges by Ed Martin, McKinley, and Mitchell. Now Thompson is changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Ball at the 42-yard line. There is movement, no flags. Pass is thrown a little hitch route. It's caught at the 36-yard line. Making the grab was Zadok Wilson. He's got a gain of 6. Miles Thompson has his Plano East offense moving.
Yeah, well-delivered ball there by Miles Thompson. The pocket held up for him long enough for him to distribute the ball over to Zadok Wilson. So got a little something cooking here, in danger of getting on the scoreboard here for the first time tonight is Plano East.
Two receivers to the left, one up top. Slot to the left. Now movement across that Plano East front line's left tackle, Alan Sarabia, who's going to be called for a false start. What was the 2nd and 4 will now back it up and make it a 2nd down and 9.
And that's one as a head coach, if you're Joey McCullough, that's one that's going to make you pull your hair out.
Prior to the snap, false start. He won on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
2nd down and 9. 7:59 to go third quarter. 42-0 Plano West. Miles Thompson looks over to the sidelines to get the signals from Brad Bailey. Another one of those coaches that was here at Plano West, longtime assistant. Joey McCullough took him over with him to Plano East. Here we go on a 2nd down and 9. Handoff straight ahead to Douglas. Lowers his shoulders, and he's met immediately. A gain of maybe 1. Brett Clark there, the senior defensive end. That defensive front line tonight has been awfully salty.
I don't know if you had a chance to see Wamed Sanogo on that play, but he met the center, Dane Cordell, head on a blitz, and Knight literally drove the center. Now, this is a center. He's 235 pounds. Drove him almost 20 yards into the backfield. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen from a sophomore linebacker.
He is a specimen for just a sophomore, and he plays with tremendous motor. His motor is always running hot. Here comes Sunogo on a blitz. Thompson to throw. Pressure coming from McKinley from the backside. Pass is thrown, tipped by Martin, and pass is caught at the 28-yard line. It was caught by Tim Wilson. First down yardage. It was a relentless pursuit there for Mitchell, and it was Martin who nearly got a paw on it. First down for Plano East.
I think Martin actually tipped that football. He actually got a hand on that, and it redirected it. Great play there by Tim Wilson to make the adjustment and catch a wobbling ball. So outstanding effort there.
Plano East on the move, a 3-receiver set. 42-0 Plano West. Late third quarter. Handoff right side. Douglas, tough running. Is able to get to the 27-yard line. Barrels his way forward. Tackle finally made there on a gain of 3. Lavelle Ramsey was there again on that tackle. That defensive front has been awfully active tonight. Shonka Smallwood's had a big game. Lavelle Ramsey, Jordan Diggs, and Brett Clark.
Mentioned Wahmed Sunogo a minute ago. He reminds me a little bit of a Junior Seau if you kind of look at the build and kind of the way he plays and his stance in that defensive backfield.
Here is Miles Thompson. Keeps it on the zone read off the right tackle. He's got close to a first down the 20-yard line. Now, he plays with his pads over. You talk about that stance and the way he gets down. You can tell he plays well beyond his years.
This is one of those instances where I really wish this was a TV game and I had one of those telestrators.
That's right.
You could just circle him and say, just watch him for a couple of plays.
He is a special player, and he's going to be a lot of fun to watch over the next 3 years. Saw some action last year as a freshman. Here comes Sunogo on a blitz. Hand off to Douglas. He somehow gets a pass. Sunogo breaks a tackle to 15. 10 stumbles his way forward to the 8-yard line. Goes Douglas. Plano East has put together their best drive of the night. They're knocking on the door with 5:24 to go, third quarter. 42-0 Plano West.
Yeah, the best way to describe this running from Jaquan Douglas is just angry. He's running very, very angry right now. You can tell he wants to get on the scoreboard. This is a rivalry game. They've basically been whipped all night long, and you can tell that Douglas has just had enough of it. He's a senior, and he's not going to get shut out against Plano West.
2 receivers left, one right out of a shotgun. Handoff, and it's going to be the quarterback instead of Thompson takes it in behind the right side. Well, actually throwing it's a gain of maybe 1 for Thompson. Check the flags. That is
personal foul.
A personal
on the defense, number 5. Half the distance to go. Automatic. First down.
There's a personal foul on McKinley Mitchell. It's been a little chippy out there tonight between these two teams, crosstown rivals. To be expected. We've seen definitely the officiating group try to keep this game in check with the yellow flags.
Yeah, they've done a good job, and you know, like you said, to be expected, a rivalry game's already going to be a little bit chippy to begin with, and then you throw in the 42-0 scoreboard. I'm actually a little bit shocked we haven't seen a couple more of those unsportsmanlike flags. You know, a nice job by the kids tonight to really keep their wits about them and not do anything that, you know, is going to get a flag.
Thompson, the junior signal caller, sets his troops. Takes the handoff, now tries to duck in off the left side. He muscles his way to the 3, maybe the 2-yard line, which will bring up a second down and goal from the 2. A lot of misdirection in that offensive line scheme there by Plano East, pulling the guard right there. Thompson tries to get in behind him. That Plano West defensive unit standing tough. Second down and go from the 2. Clock rolling at 4:18 and counting to go in the third quarter. It is all Plano West 42-0. Trying to pitch a shutout. Plano East is 2 yards away from punching it in. Handoff. Douglas, right side. Met at the line of scrimmage. Stacked up, maybe gets half a yard. It'll be a third down and goal. About the 1.5.
Yeah, and Robert Leviton got his head down and really put a lick there on Douglas. Leviton, a guy that's been a little bit underrated this season. We've called his name quite a few times, and he and Brett Clark will rotate back and forth at that defensive end spot. But Leviton's made some big plays here early in the season.
Had a big sack last week against that high-powered Saxy offense. Here we go, third down and goal from the 1. 3:35 to go. Plano West trying to protect that 42-0 lead. They move their defensive front, hand off to Douglas, and he gets into the end zone. Barrels his way in, breaking tackles. Like a pinball machine goes Douglas into the end zone, and it's 42-6, Plano West out front.
And finally East on the scoreboard here, under 3.5 left in the third quarter. And that's one of those drives that if you go back and you look, if your head coach Joey McCulley, your offensive coordinator Brad Bailey, you can take some positives out of that drive. Jaquan Douglas looked solid running the football. And Miles Thompson, not a bad job as the signal caller there. So again, we may have that quarterback controversy. Looking forward to Plano East. Next game is Miklos Falls and Miles Thompson. Who knows?
Henry Matson's extra point is good, but there is a surprise.
I'm shocked. Yeah, wow.
On the defense, number 7. Penalty is refused.
Came storming off the right side, trying to block that extra point. He's called for being offside, so declining. It's 42-7. Plano West still way out in front, leading by 35 in this one, with 3:24 to go in the third quarter. You're listening to the Road and Ball Flooring America and Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Plano East is on the board, 42-7 to score. Jaquan Douglas punches it in from a yard and a half out. Plano West still with the commanding lead tonight at 42-7. Interesting to see who comes in offensively. What the early indication looks as though it will be that second offense. In fact, Jamambo's already got the hat turned around backwards, standing about the 35. Plano West backup quarterback Logan Williams ready to come in. Here comes the kick down the 20-yard line, taken there by Mark Cooks. Races far sideline, angling his way out of bounds up around the 40-yard line. Solid kickoff return for Plano West, and here comes that second offense. We saw them in week 1 against Mesquite. Never could really get on track, so a chance here for this group to kind of grow up and maybe make some strides here tonight.
Yeah, I think we're still going to see a few of the starting offensive linemen out there, but we are definitely going to see Logan Williams come in. We're going to see Dalvin Billingsley in there at running back, as well as Bennett Dubrow, the junior receiver, in as well. Travis Traylor still out there. He was a starter, but some of our offensive linemen still the same, but our skill position players are mainly backups at this point.
42-7, Plano West with 3:17 to go third quarter. They had a shutout going until the Jaquan Douglas touchdown run from a yard and a half out. It's Plano East finally on the board, their best drive of the night. Under the direction of quarterback Miles Thompson, who's in that backup role tonight. 3 receivers set with a slot to the left. Handoff, Billingsley started right, darts back to the left. He is met with a gain of 1 yard. Goes Billingsley, who's made his 8th carry of the season, now has 18 yards on the season.
Head coach Mike Hughes refers to Billingsley as a blue-collar running back that would likely start on a lot of other teams, and I couldn't agree more. He's certainly not going to start on this one when you've got a running back like Jamambo. It's hard to beat that guy out as the starter, unfortunately.
They're going a stretch play. What looked like some running room for Billingsley, all of a sudden he is slung down by his shoulder pads at the 40-yard line. It looked to be Landis Dura, the Texas A&M commit, who was there. Posing figure he is at 6'3", 230 pounds. 3-year starter. Amazing stat on Durham. 10 quarterback pressures last week against Flower Mound. Wow. That was all over the place. Third and long. Williams going to throw. Stands, throws. Ball's tipped up. Picked off at the 50. 45, 40. He may go to half. To the 30, to the 20, down the far sideline. It's Reuben Donald who takes it to this house. And it's now 42-13. Flags are thrown. Maybe excessive celebration. Hold everything.
I'm not so sure. That flag's out at about the 18-yard line. I'm not so sure we don't have some sort of block in the back. I don't know. It's definitely not in the area that would be excessive celebration. We'll see what the call is.
During the return, personal foul. On the return, take the 25. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's a backbreaker right there for Joey McCullough and his Plano East Wildcats. The Panthers, they had a chance to get into the end zone, make it a 42-14 ball game. All of a sudden, you look at it, it's a 28-point game.
Sure, and with 2:12 left, I mean, you score there, and maybe you catch Plano West backing up on the kickoff and try an onside. You never know. I mean, obviously the game's still way out of control here, but you get a pick six, get a little momentum. The crowd was clearly into it on the far sideline there, and maybe you get an onside kick or two. You never know what can happen. In fact, this is the 10-year or 20 years. Is it 20 year? Yeah, 20-year anniversary of the Plano East John Tyler game that we all remember, and of course Plano East. You never know. They've been known to do it before.
Die-hard fans of high school football. I
can't believe I said 10 years. That's how old
I was with you.
20 years.
I was thinking the same thing. What a game that was. Playoffs between Plano East and John Tyler. Here's Williams, directing traffic, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Pocket collapse. Williams trying to direct traffic with his left hand. Throws. It's incomplete around the 25.
Now, if you'd like, I can actually do the rest of the game in their voice if you'd like. The color guy. Look at him dance with the football. Good gosh almighty, Joe Friday. How quickly would you take your headset off and walk out on me?
Definitely colorful. It was. Here we go.
Get some mustard and relish for that one.
Second down and 10. Here's Williams. Handoff straight ahead. Knocking his way through his Douglas to the 25 to the 20. Barrels his way down to the 19-yard line. Here comes Plano East knocking on the door. I think the most classic call that night was the kickoff to win it. Guy talks about it. I just
feel like I'm going to throw up. And I don't blame him. I felt like I was going to throw up, and I was probably 13 or 14 years old watching that. I just couldn't believe it, when I saw the highlights of it. I remember watching it on Fox 4 at about 10 o'clock at night. Just, my Lord, what a game.
Absolutely classic. Here's Douglas, right side, breaks a tackle. Cannot escape the grass throw. Lavelle Ramsey at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1 at the 20-yard line. We are seeing a different offensive unit here in this second half, led by the running of Jaquan Douglas. You mentioned a while ago he's running angry. He has got a different spirit about him here in this second half. Clock rolls a minute 19, second and 11, 42-7 Plano West. Ball at the Plano West 20-yard line, and East again knocking on the door. Well, they started Miklo Smalls tonight. Really felt like they were trying to get a rhythm going with him. Well, it's been Miles Thompson who has breathed some life into this offense here in the second half tonight. Thompson, throw. Here comes pressure. Throws off his back foot to the end zone. Pass tipped up, nearly intercepted, and nearly falls down to the hands of the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. It was Audio Matosho who nearly makes that grab laying on his back. It was tipped up into the air by Mark Cooks. And make a play like that, boy, you have to kind of scratch your head and start wondering maybe where things heading in this ball game.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting. An ill-advised throw by Miles Thompson. The receiver was completely covered, but, trying to make a play, he just hucked one up off his back foot. I can't say I blame him. Down 42-7, but it was tipped up in the air, almost intercepted, and then almost caught by the intended receiver.
Third down 11, nowhere to go for Thompson. Rolling to his left, almost like a designed run or roll out. It's Lavelle Ramsey who was there to sling him down. Loss of 2, 4th and 13. Clock ticking at 35 seconds to go, third quarter. About a 2-second differential between the game clock and the play clock, so they will have to run one more play. 42-7. Late third quarter here is for waning moments, clock ticking down. Miles Thompson huddles his troops up in the backfield. They got two receivers right, one left. Two backs in the backfield. With Christian Buchanan set as the H-back. Here's Thompson, throws, far side, pass caught at the 10, close to the first down, maybe a yard shy though. It's going to be awfully close. It's all the way on the far side. Tough to see from our vantage point. Looks as though he's a little shy.
I think he may just be a little bit short, but it's all going to depend on the spot here. And it would appear they have ruled him short, so Plano West is going to take over. Unfortunate, because a well-delivered ball and a nice catch. Just unfortunately, he didn't quite run the pattern to the sticks, and that's something that just, as a broadcaster, it drives me nuts to watch a guy run a great route and run it half a yard short of the first down marker. And you see NFL players do it. You see college players do it. And I'm watching games just going, why? Why would you run that route knowing that you need X number of yards and run it half a yard short?
Plano West back on offense. This will be the last play of the third quarter. It's Vitor Pacianato who takes it off the left side, gain of about 2 or 3. And that'll bring us to the close of the third quarter. It's still all Plano West, 42-7. Plano East. A touchdown as well as an interception. Their second touchdown of the third quarter was called back on an unsportsmanlike or a block in the back personal foul that brought it back, and Plano East could not capitalize on the turnover. So we head to the fourth quarter, 42-7. Plano West on top. You're listening to Lord Bob Flooring and American Appliances presentation. Plano West Wills football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
There's a
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
42-7. Plano West leading Plano East. District 6-6A opener tonight for the Wolves. Reagan Radcliffe along with Eli Jordan. The Wolves now traveling right to left as we begin the fourth quarter. Vitor Pasquinato tries the left side. Can't escape the grasp from the backside, being tracked down there by the big nose tackle. It's a gain of 3. Deion Davis, 6'2", 280-pound senior. Talked about his speed a moment ago, but 5 flat speed. That's awfully fast for a guy of his stature. Tracks down Pasquinato. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Wolves.
Yeah, anytime you're 280 pounds and running a 5 flat, that's definitely impressive speed. And as a senior, I'm a little bit shocked to see that he hasn't got more college offers. 6'2", 280. That's nice size and good solid speed as well.
3rd down. Here comes Logan Williams. Calls his own number. Off the right tackle. And a gain of a couple yards will leave them well short of a 1st down. A 4th down for Plano West. The clock ticks down close to 11 minutes. First minute of action in the fourth quarter. You see Damon Foncham for the first time since the first quarter. In fact, he had a couple of punts in the first quarter. Here we'll see him as he'll have to stand inside his own 5-yard line to boot this one away. Back deep to receive for Plano East is Quan Beasley.
Yeah, I think they had to go get Damon Foncham. I thought I saw him trying to buy some nachos down there at the concession stand. It's been a while since we've seen him. He probably took his pads off and took a little break.
Here comes the heat. He got the punt blocked. It's rolling at the 15. Picked up though and then fumbled out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Well, that's just bad luck. Justice Myers was there and had a chance to pick it up and fumbled it away. It goes out of bounds, so Plano East will take over. But they brought touching. Foncham looked like he held on to that a little too long.
Yeah, a little bit. And, of course, at this point in the game, Plano East just looking, again, for anything positive. And they came with the heat right up the middle, and nobody bothered to pick anyone up. And they were able to block the punt. And then, like you said, just a little bit of bad luck there as Plano West almost ended up with the football and then it was fumbled out of bounds. So Plano East in business here, down 42-7.
It's the second defensive unit now for Plano West onto the field. Miles Thompson back on the field with that first offensive unit for Plano East. It's Jaquan Douglas right side for a gain of close to 2 yards. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Next week, Plano West will travel to McKinney to take on Boyd. It should be a showdown. McKinney-Boydton was picked 2nd in the district this year. And has gotten off to a 1-1 start. They one loss to Allen in district. They should, I say 1-1. They were well out in front earlier tonight over Flower Mountain. Got about a 37-0 lead at the half. 2nd down and 8, 9:57 to go, fourth quarter. Thompson, play action, looks, throws to the right, passes, caught at 15, moving forward, close to the sticks at the 10-yard line. I mean, maybe a half a yard shy. As Thompson connects with his receiver, Zadok Wilson.
Reagan, I'm sure you'd agree that looking forward to next week that this is going to be the first real test for Plano West. Now, they've played some quality football teams, but they've also got a couple of teams in Plano East and Mesquite that are starting sophomore quarterbacks. Saxe, of course, a good test. You've got the Duvernay brothers there that are top quality athletes, but on the defensive side of the ball, Saxe missing 3 of their starters whenever West played them a couple of weeks back. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch what Plano West can do up against a full-strength McKinney-Boyd team that's very, very solid on both sides.
Number 67, 5-yard penalty.
Offsides on the Plano West.
Replay second down.
They're going to replay the second down, take the yardage on the penalty rather than have a 3rd and 1. So clock ticking at 9:44, 42-7 Plano West. Second team defensive unit in for the Wolves. And now again, whistles blow, flags down. It's a false start on Plano East.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Somebody take that poor referee some throw lozenges down there. I think he's been on the air more than we have tonight.
Back it up 5. After getting a 5-yard penalty, now they just back right back up to where they were.
He's got some chloroseptic right next to his flag.
Second down. Here comes Douglas trying to weave his way off the right side on a stretch play. Nowhere to go. Good look there for that second team defensive line. No gain for Douglas, and leaves him a 3rd down and 8. It has been a formidable effort tonight by Plano West Wolves defensive unit. Coming off an outing last week in which they really struggled against Saxe. Gave up 626 yards of offense, 448 yards through the air. You knew you weren't going to see the same type of passing attack that you saw 2 weeks ago. But they definitely made some improvements. Here comes Trey Hunter. Ball's on the ground. 3 covered. Plano West has the football. It is recovered by Robert Leviton at the 27-yard line. Trey Hunter just could not grasp the handoff from Thompson. Missed exchange between the two, and Plano West has the first turnover.
Yeah, Bobby Leviton there, the 6'2", 212-pound senior, able to pounce on that loose football. And again, we mentioned him earlier. He and Brett Clark both been very, very solid all season from that defensive end position, along with Jordan Diggs and Shanna Smallwood there on the interior of that defensive line. Then, of course, on the other side, you've got Lavelle Ramsey, who we've called his name quite a bit over the first few weeks. So very, very solid job defensively all the way around tonight for this Plano West D.
First down and 10 for Plano West. They're missing the right tackle. That'll be Ichu Kim, starter, who comes on the field here. Play clock's going to tick down to 0. That'll be
prior to the snap. Delay
game.
Number 10. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I'll back it up 5. Definitely one of those things that Mike Hughes will look and talk with his staff and team about Saturday in the film session. The number of penalties may be the one glaring thing for them that has not been a good thing tonight. Here's a handoff to Billingsley. He's upended at the 25-yard line. Always something to work on, and I think penalties are the thing that stands out.
No question. I mean, anytime you're going to break down film, there's always something that you can nitpick. You can play the perfect game and win 55-0, but there's always going to be a thing here or there that you'd work on. And clearly tonight, penalties have been a tremendous issue for Plano West. 12, 15 penalties. I think we're the only 2 that they haven't flagged tonight, I believe. And the game's not over yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Second down and 13, 42-7. There's a cross up between Williams and Billingsley in the backfield. Williams just tucks this one and runs to the 26. Well, that'd be very first. Broadcast crew get a flag. I would personal foul maybe on you or something.
I don't know, maybe. A horse collar tackle. Just drag you down from behind.
Third down and 12 here, 42-7. Plano West over Williams in the gun. What do you know? Flag's thrown before the snap.
Prior to the snap. Ball start. Number 61 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Back it up 5. This Wolves second team unit still looking for their first down of the season. They were not able to get one against Mesquite a few weeks ago. That's what Logan Williams can do here. Work it out for him on 3rd down and 17. Play action. Look, he is dropped back at the 16-yard line. Sack is made. A host of white jerseys there in the backfield. What looked like the charge that time was led by Trayvon Ransom, 6'2", 250-pound senior defensive end.
Good news, though, Reagan. You know what we did not have there? A flag. So that's good.
Nothing.
Progress.
Here's Damon Fonchuk had his last punt blocked. He stands back, heels on the 1-yard line. Juan Beasley back at his own 40-yard line to await.
Timeout.
Now timeout call.
West. That's the first timeout of the half.
7:05 to go, fourth quarter. 42-7 Plano West. We'll step aside with them. You're listening to the Road Boss Flooring American Appliances presentation of Plano West Wolves football on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
Out of a timeout, Plano West will boot this one away. Damon Fonchuk's fourth punt of the night. Fonchuk came in tonight averaging 44 yards a kick. He's got a booming right leg. Pressure coming, gets this one off. It's a high wobbler. This will come down at the 42 by Beasley, and he is walloped at the 40-yard line. He took that on a dead sprint. And boy, you talk about some courage on Beasley's part to take that on a sprint, and he was tattooed at the 38.
There, wow. I mean, Juan Beasley, hitting just full stride, absolutely flying at about the 41-yard line. And when he fielded that ball, he just went head first into one of the Plano West defenders. And I'm surprised that they both got up as quickly as they did. That was a major league collision. I can tell you, I've seen guys stay down for a lot longer from a lot less.
5 yards. Right to the kicker. Number 25. Penalty is refused. Be first down east.
Should have known.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but we should have known.
Talk about punt returners. You got to have a special guy back there. A guy that's absolutely fearless.
There's no doubt about that.
Got a ball that's hanging in the air that long. Guys running down full speed at you.
And you got to take your eyes off of them at some point to catch the ball. And I mean, that's just, you've got to have, you've got to be a real stud to be able to sit there and go, okay, well, these guys are bearing down on me, and I've got to take my eyes off what's going on. Otherwise, you're going to muff the punt, and then you're in some real trouble with your coach. So, yeah, those guys, most of them are borderline crazy. It's an insane profession to get into.
Inside give to Deontay Powell, his first carry of the night. It's a gain of 1. Now it's a second down and 9. 3-receiver set. Thompson to throw over the middle. Nowhere near anybody, but what do you know? There's a flag. Running stride for stride there on the incomplete pass. He was looking for Zadok Wilson. It was Keyshawn Butler who was there on the coverage from his middle linebacker spot.
What's the record for most penalties in a half? I wonder if Dave Campbell's got that in the back of the
on the defense, number 27 against the eligible receiver. 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
It seems like it has been about every other play this second half. We saw quite a few penalties in the first half, but nothing like what we've seen here in this last 24 minutes.
And there were a lot of penalties in the first half.
6:23 to go in this one, 42-7 Plano West. Looking to get to 3-0 overall, 1-0 in district. Kenny Boyd on the horizon next Friday night. Here comes pressure on Thompson. Gets it away. Heaves it up. One ball knocked away at the goal line. It was Adia Matosho who was the intended receiver, and the ball was batted up in the air and away. It was Justin Burton there on the coverage. Nice job there by the junior safety.
Yeah, that was a safety blitz there from Marquise Morrow.
Morrow was a kid that they brought up. The junior varsity making his first appearance on Friday nights. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right, Nomatosho. Here they come, option into the boundary. And the ball is stripped away, falls to the ground. Back to the 30-yard line, and it is recovered by Plano West. Demaria Lambert forced that fumble, and West comes up with it. At the bottom of the pile, it was Plano West, Marco Saracini, who comes up with it. But it was Demaria Lambert who just raked that ball out of the paws of the running back, and now Plano West will have it 1st and 10. Second turnover forced by this number 2 unit.
And you always love to see seniors getting in on the action, forcing big turnovers. Demaria Lambert, he's a senior. This will be the last time he plays in this rivalry game against Plano East. Comes up with a big strip of the football there, and so kudos to that young man as he's going to be able to remember that rivalry game. He caused that fumble late.
Here comes Pasquinato. He's got to gain it close to 6. Finds a crease in the hole off the left side and gets to the 41. Inside 6 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter, 42-7 Plano West. Plano East will fall to 1-1 in District 6-6A. Allen atop the district at 2-0. Plano West right on their heels will be at 1-0. Logan Williams, handoff, Pasquinato, stretch play left side, close to a first down. He is at the 44-yard line. He was ripped down, really only grabbed by his helmet. In fact, Pasquinato rolls over on his backside, kind of grabbing at his left knee. Down marker shows that it's third, looks to be inches. Well, it's really from our vantage point, it looks like he got the first down.
I believe he did. Yeah, they're going to move the chains here, and unfortunately, Pasquinato is still down here on the near sideline, and they're tending to that left leg.
First down brought to you by Buford Roofing and Construction as Plano West moves the chains. Pasquinato remains down at the 45-yard line. Pasquinato, senior running back, 6 carries, 28 yards coming into the night. All of those carries coming against Mesquite. He does get up, but gingerly what looks to be on that left leg is being helped off. It has been a physical game. You knew it would be. Crosstown rivals. Very familiar with one another, not only as players, but also as coaches. Joey McCullough, 12-year assistant coach here. In fact, assistant head coach at Plano West. First year at Plano East, his alma mater. 3-3 stack defensive look for East. Here's a handoff to Billingsley. Works his way off the right side, and he is tripped up at the 48-yard line. Clock continues to tick closer towards 5 minutes, 5:09 and counting. Plano West trying to milk that clock, play clock rolling down to 25.
Yeah, and you can bet they're going to take every bit of that play clock to get these plays in under 5 minutes now. Every play they run, knock about 30 seconds off the clock. So.
There's a handoff off the left side to Billingsley. He gets into Plano East territory, across the 50 to the 48, and it'll bring up a third down and 2 yards for Plano West offense. 4:30 and rolling. Soso Jamambo tonight, 3 touchdowns. Robert Colmary had a pair on the ground and one through the air to Yoshe Ali. Plano West Wolves defensively, probably their finest outing of the year, just 7 points allowed. Here comes Logan Williams. He's got a lot of room, and he falls down at the 45-yard line. First down, brought to you by Mike Shell Service Center. Plano West Wolves, another first down, move the sticks into Plano East territory at the 45.
Yeah, nice play there by Logan Williams. He's able to get the first down, but more importantly, he ducks under a big hit that was coming his way and stays in bounds as well. So savvy headsy play there by Logan Williams. Of course, Williams a junior, and he did play quite a bit last year when Robert Colmary went down with an injury and completed 72% of his passes. So no stranger to seeing the field.
Billingsley gets the call. Handoff, straight ahead. He gets close to 8 yards. Holes opening up now up front of that offensive line. It's like Plano East now shuffling some starters in and out. As that entire defensive front line of Landis Durham, Deion Davis, and Trayvon Ransom are out. Really 3 guys tonight that we thought might pose a problem for that front, Plano West, but they did an admirable job tonight. Here's Billingsley, left side, first down yardage to the 33, out of bounds at the 32. Another first down for Plano West. Best drive that we've seen from this number 2 offense this season. The first down, clock stopped at 3:14, 42-7 Plano West. We're going to get to 1-0 in district action tonight.
A little bit shocked to see Davin Billingsley step out of bounds there on that play. Of course, clock stops with a first down regardless, but
Billingsley straight ahead. Just a gain of 1. He is met by that linebacking core. Second down and 9. Crowd beginning to thin out here at Clark Stadium. A terrific crowd on both sides tonight. Expect a good crowd next week. Encourage all those Plano West Wolves fans to load up and head to McKinney. That showdown with McKinney North, or McKinney Boyd. Here's a handoff. It's going to be Williams who pulls it down, fakes the handoff, ball's loose on the ground, got around the 25. Plano East signaling that they have it, and they do. So Logan Williams coughs it up, and now Plano East will have it first down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
The 35-point margin we see currently would go down as the second highest margin of victory over the last, since 2000. A 38-point win for Plano West back in 2008 being the largest, and then West also won by 34 points back in 2004. So as we sit here at 35 points, that would be the second highest margin of victory in series history.
Plano East back on offense from their own 23-yard line. It is Miles Thompson, fakes a handoff, he tucks and runs at 30. Bobs and weaves out of traffic with 35, angles his way out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Goes Miles Thompson, first down yardage, and at least for Joey McCullough, you can't speak for him, but you got to think that maybe next week Thompson might be the guy.
It's hard to say. You know, a lot of the damage he's done here in the second half has been against the second team for Plano West, but he has looked like the quarterback that is more solid, in my opinion. Now, obviously, we're way up here in the broadcast booth. We don't see them every day in practice. We don't see how they prepare, but as far as I can tell, it looks like Thompson has been the better quarterback here tonight, and Miklo Smalls just never could get anything going.
Thompson darts his way forward this time on the keeper to the 47-yard line, their own 47. Nearing the 2-minute mark, 2:05 and rolling, 42-7 Plano West. Thompson has the Plano East offense on the move here. On a second down and 3. 4-down lineman for Plano West. Show pressure off the edge. Here comes Douglas, left side. On an outside give. He's close to a first down to the 50. Brought down around the ankles. It was Keyshawn Butler who was there to make the tackle. Butler, that backup middle linebacker, 5'11", 201-pound senior, had 5 tackles against Mesquite in week 1. Solid backup for Wamit Sanogo. Minute 35 remaining. First down and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Ball resting the near hash. Slot left, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Thompson, handoff. Douglas started outside left, now cuts it back up the middle. He is swarmed under at the 47-yard line. They'll give him a gain of 3. We will be on the air on Friday night at McKinney Boyd's 7 o'clock pregame show. Kickoff at 7:30. Huge test for Plano West. Trying to get to 2-0 in district and a perfect 4-0 on the season. Here's Thompson. Inside give to Douglas. Breaks 1 tackle after lowering his shoulders and then is brought down at the 45. We are inside 1 minute, rolling at 50 seconds. Plano East may have 1 more play left on it. Joey McCullough's Plano East Panthers will fall to 1-3 and 1-1 in district. But a lot on the horizon talent-wise for him and his staff. Sophomore quarterback Miklo Smalls. Very highly talented linebacking core. Sophomores Grayson Deepenbrock and Anthony Hines. Here's a handoff off the right side. Gain of 2. That may do it. Clock goes down to 16, 15, 14, 42-7 Plano West could be our final tonight. Teams beginning to line up at midfield. Plano West just going to let it roll out. Clock kicks down to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Plano West wins it tonight. They get to 3-0 and 1-0 in District 6-6A action of 42-7. Drumming of Plano East tonight. We will be back with the post-game show as Plano West Wolves win it 42-7. Post-game show presented by Rodenbaugh Flooring American Appliances is coming up next right here on Champion Sports Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Shell experts here to talk about the protective shield you see at Shell stations all over the country.
Featuring us.
It's there to remind you that no other gasoline protects your engine better than Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Mm-hmm. Now with 20% more cleaning agents than before.
Performance-robbing gunk doesn't stand a chance because your intake valves and fuel injectors are protected.
Actively shielded.
Hence the big protective shield here.
So try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines today. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635. Buford Roofing and Construction is a family-owned company you can trust. Buford Roofing specializes in roofing replacement and repair for the outside of your home or business and radiant barriers and insulation for the inside. They use top-quality materials, professionally trained crews, and guarantee total customer satisfaction. When you use Buford Roofing and Construction, you can consider yourself protected. They're online at BufordRoofing.com or call 817-329-ROOF.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
42-7, Plano West wins it tonight over Plano East to get to 3-0 and 1-0 in District 6-6A action as we welcome you into the Road Balls Flooring American Appliances postgame show here on SportsSoundsRadio.com, Champion Sports Radio. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan tonight. Plano West Wolves cruising in this one. Eli, you got to look at tonight's scoring summary as well as our statistics.
Sure, Reagan, no problem, my friend. 42-7 your final here, and Plano West got the scoring started early and often with Soso Jamambo. He scores on a 1-yard run early there in the first quarter, and then Jamambo on a 58-yarder with 1:35 remaining in the first. On to the second quarter, they started off with a Soso Jamambo 3-yard run with just a couple of minutes into that second quarter, and then Robert Cole-Mary makes it a 27-0 lead. The Parkin-Davidson extra point is good to make it 28-0 with 6:27 remaining there in the first half, and then a Robert Cole-Mary hookup with Yoshe Ali for 25 yards through the air makes it a 35-0 lead at halftime. In the third quarter, Robert Cole-Mary a 42-yard touchdown run, and that made it a 42-0 lead. That was with 10 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And then to close out our scoring, Plano East finally on the board with 3:24 remaining there in the third. A Jaquan Douglas 1-yard touchdown dive. The Henry Matson kick was up and good. And that is your final score, 42-7. It was all Plano West. And Plano East, their bookends it at the very end with a touchdown from Jaquan Douglas.
Plano West to get to 3-0 now, 1-0 in district. Plano East falls to 1-1. And overall, this is a Plano East club that has now fallen to 1-3. And a team that came in tonight really did 1-2. Probably a chance to have to be 3-0. You look at their other couple of losses, much closer than what they lost by tonight. 35-point deficit as Plano West storms out and wins this one. Well, we will step aside, take a break. We come back. We'll tell you about the rest of the action going on across high school football on a Friday night across the DFW, as well as tell you what's coming up next week for the Plano West Wolves. It'll be a big test next Friday night when the Wolves head up north to McKinney Board. That's all coming up next on the Road Balls postgame show. You're listening to Plano West Wolves football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
Rodenbaugh's, located at 102 West Main Street in Allen, has all of your appliance and floor covering needs. Rodenbaugh's offers expert sales and installation on carpet, wood, ceramic, marble, and vinyl flooring. The appliance showroom displays state-of-the-art name-brand home appliances. As always, Rodenbaugh's backs up their knowledgeable sales with factory-trained service technicians. Rodenbaugh's, Allen's oldest business, family-owned and operated since 1962.
Buford Roofing.
Back on the Rodenbaugh's postgame show, 42-7. Plano West wins this one tonight over Plano East. 35-point victory. Take a look at the statistics for tonight. Soso Jamambo last week, who had a huge game, 5 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns, 469 yards. Not quite the numbers that we saw last week from him, but still a very formidable outing by him. The Plano West offense, where the defense probably played the storyline tonight. But here to take us a look through the statistics is Eli Jordan.
Yeah, let's take a look, Reagan. Obviously, Plano West very lopsided tonight on total yards, 445 to Plano East's 169. 23 first downs for Plano West, and just 11 for Plano East. Got 367 total rushing yards for the Wolves, and on Plano East side, just 127. 78 pass yards for West, 42 for East, and 8 punts for Plano East, 4 punts for Plano West, and 1 fumble for Plano West. They lost that fumble, and then Plano East 2 fumbles. They lost both of theirs as well. And here's the big number. We were both curious. The penalties for Plano West tonight, 15 penalties for 104 yards, and Plano East 6 penalties for 43 yards. So a combined 21 penalties for a whole mess of yardage in this one. It was a very Hanky-centric game, if you will. So let's take a look at the individual statistics. Plano West passing tonight. Robert Colmary does some yeoman's work through the air, not lighting up the scoreboard by any stretch of the imagination, but he was efficient. 6 of 12 passing, 78 yards, and a touchdown to Yoshe Ali there in the second quarter. Rushing yards, Soso Jamambo, another solid game for him. It almost seems like an off night for Soso Jamambo, but he goes for 20 carries for 185 yards and 3 TDs, and that's probably the most pedestrian game we've seen him have to this point. So, but still phenomenal numbers for him, averaging almost 10 yards per carry. Robert Colmary equally as solid through on the running game there. 12 carries for 136 yards. He averaged 11.5 per carry and 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Billingsley, 24 yards. Victor Pacianato, 15 yards. And Logan Williams, 5 carries for 7 yards. Round out your rushing statistics for the Wolves. Receiving yards, we basically end the game with the same yardage as we had at halftime. Yoshe Ali with the 1 catch for 25 yards. That goes for a touchdown. You have Andrew Gillespie, Christian Gans, Travis Traylor, and Brandon Wynn and Sosa Jamamba all with 1 reception apiece. For Plano East, it was a struggle tonight offensively. Miles Thompson, 3 for 6 passing. He led the way, the passing attack, with just 27 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. And then Miklo Smalls, a real struggle for him tonight from the onset of the game. He just had 1 completion out of 6 attempts for 15 yards total. Plano East rushing. You finally saw Jaquan Douglas get started just a little bit there in the second half. He finishes with 25 carries for 68 yards and the lone touchdown. Miles Thompson, 8 carries for 42 yards. He averaged 5.2 per carry. That was by far the best for Plano East yards attempt-wise. Miklo Smalls, 10 carries for 12 yards. Deontay Powell, 2 carries for 3 yards. And Trey Hunter, 4 carries for just 2 yards, half a yard a carry there. And Plano East receiving, not much doing here either. Omatosho, 1 catch for 15 yards. He led the way. Cameron Moore, 1 reception for 11 yards. Tim Wilson, 1 catch for 10 yards. And Zadok Wilson had 1 catch for just 6 yards. Those are your statistics for tonight. And as you can see, Plano West obviously very lopsided statistically, and that's what you would expect in a 42-7 ball game.
Yeah, the biggest numbers to tell you about tonight on the scoreboard: 42-7. Plano West runs away with this one at a 42-0 lead. A third quarter touchdown by Plano East erases the shutout, but a 42-7 victory in the district opener tonight for the Plano West Wolves. We'll step aside, short break. We come back, we'll tell you about all the action across the Metroplex here on a Friday night and get you set for what's to come next Friday night as Plano West hits the road to take on McKinney Boyd. We'll tell you about that next, coming up on the Road Boss postgame show right here. This is Plano West Wolves football on SportsSoundsRadio.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management. The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Back on the Rodenbaugh's postgame show, 42-7 tonight, Plano West all over Plano East. Reagan Ratcliffe along with Eli Jordan this evening. And big score here tonight was West rolls to this one to get to 1-0 in district. And Eli, take a look around the Metroplex tonight. A lot of great games going around, as always on a Friday night. Get us caught up on scores tonight.
Yeah, we'll start with District 6-6A. McKinney Boyd, who we will see next week, they pull away from Flower Mound. It is a final 46-6. The final there, McKinney Boyd wins it. Hebron, who was up 21-7 in that game on Flower Mound Marcus at halftime. That game now, Reagan, is in the second overtime as Hebron let Flower Mound Marcus come all the way back. It's tied at 21, so no points in the second half for the Hebron Hawks as the struggles continue for Brian Brazel and the Hebron Hawks over there as they are in a barn burner in double overtime against Marcus. We'll try and get you updated on that one if it goes final before we are out of here. Let's check it. District 11-6A. You've got Garland all over Garland, Naaman Forest. That game 42-34. That game is in the waning moments. Rowlett 21-17 final over Garland Lakeview. Tyler Lee and Saxe. That is a high-scoring affair to say the least. It is late in the fourth quarter, and Tyler Lee leads that one 62-42, so 104 points on the board there. District 9-5A, Frisco beats the Colony 13-7. That is a final. In the fourth quarter, Frisco Centennial up 31-28 over Frisco Heritage, so a close game there up at Toyota Stadium. Little Elm all over Frisco Independence, 46-6 the final there. That one is over with. And then 23-16, Frisco Lone Star beats Frisco Liberty. District 14-5A, the Mansfield schools. Mansfield Timberview 35-14 winners over Arlington Seguin. Mansfield Lake Ridge. This one is in the fourth quarter and it is close. Lancaster up 21-18 over Mansfield Lake Ridge. Mansfield Legacy, it is a final 22-17 over Waxahachie. Also a final, Mansfield Summit defeats Red Oak 45-14. Some non-district games from tonight. We haven't gotten any update on the Euless Trinity Galena Park North Shore game just yet. Of course, that one being out of town, so we're having a little trouble getting information on that one. South Grand Prairie up 42-19 over Abilene Cooper. That one is late in the fourth quarter. Argyle all over Graham 35-27 tonight. That is a final. And then the Arlington Bowie Colleyville Heritage game. That one is in the final minute. It is a 42-28 lead for Arlington Bowie over Heritage over at Grapevine's Mustang Panthers Stadium. Bishop Dunn 64-0 winners over Roosevelt. Carrollton Ranch View 48-33 over Decatur. That game is in the fourth. The Cedar Hill Capel game, we mentioned it in the pregame show tonight. Capel 27 points on the board, but they are losing by 20. Cedar Hill up 47-27. That game is in the final 5 minutes. Bishop Lynch 33-21 over Salina. That game is in the fourth quarter. Melissa over Commerce 42-21. That game in the fourth as well. Waco Midway 42-29 over Duncanville. That is late in the fourth quarter. Just a couple more scores. Let's throw you here. Let's check in on Richland and Grand Prairie. That is a final 38-22. Richland beats Grand Prairie. Fort Worth Arlington Heights all over Grapevine tonight over at Farrington Field in Fort Worth. 60-14 that game in the fourth quarter. And just a couple more here. Midlothian 38-14 over over Haltom. And Kennedale all over Kaufman 56-13. That'll just about wrap up your scores from around the area.
Well, the big one tonight for Plano West, 42-7, the victory over Plano East. And you put this one in the books, and now you start setting your sights on McKinney Boyd. And that's a team that you'll go through, you thumb through your Dave Campbells and look at the kind of the prognostications as to what was going to transpire as this season went on. And a lot of people had McKinney Boyd as one of the teams to contend for a district title. Of course, that's tough to say when you've got Allen in the district, but a lot of people thought that McKinney Boyd would finish towards the top of the district. They're going to get a big win tonight. So what looks to be a big-time showdown coming up next Friday.
I don't think there's any question about that, Reagan. It's going to be a very, very solid game. You've got McKinney Boyd, like you said, who's a lot of people had picked to have a chance to maybe upend Allen if Allen were to catch an injury or catch a freakish loss somehow in the district. But McKinney Boyd, a very, very good team, and I don't think that there's any doubt that they have one of the better teams in District 6-6A, but Plano West, the way they have looked, I think they could make an argument that they're one of the best teams in 6-6A as well. As long as Soso Jamambo is carrying the ball like he is, he has been borderline unstoppable to this point in the season. Robert Colmary has been very, very solid. He hasn't put up astronomical numbers, but he has been good when he's needed to be good, and that's the kind of thing that's the kind of player you need to complement a Soso Jamambo and to complement a very solid defense like Plano West has. I mean, their defense tonight, it looked great, and the two games that they've had against sophomore quarterbacks, they have looked a lot better than obviously they did against Garland Saxe, but Saxe has some very, very good athletes on offense, and there's no embarrassment to be had about letting the Duvernay brothers score on you. I mean, Donovan Duvernay is one of the fastest guys, if not in the entire state, maybe the entire country. I mean, this guy runs legitimate 4.4 speed, if not maybe a touch faster. So it's going to be a fun game, and I'm looking forward to calling it and looking forward to seeing what this defense can do against a very solid McKinney Boyd team and what this offense and Soso Jamambo and Robert Colmary can do against a very good defense.
42-7, our final score here tonight. Plano West with the win. If you give out game balls tonight, offensive, defensive players of the game for you.
I'd have to say, you could give the game ball to Soso Jamambo every single week if you wanted to. 3 touchdowns tonight, 180 yards or whatever he had. But, let's give it to the Plano West offensive line. They did a good job blocking for Soso Jamambo, keeping Robert Colmary's pocket clean so he was able to throw the ball whenever he had to. So Travis Hall, Colin Hill, Travis Armstrong, Edward Alisev, and Iju Kim, excellent work up front. We'll give all of them game balls. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, it was, Ed Martin, of course, Studley all night long. We called his number many, many times. But a nice effort there from Robert Leviton coming in. He and Brett Clark revolving there at the defensive end. And then Shanta Smallwood had a big turnover fumble caused early in the game. Lavelle Ramsey had a nice game. Demaria Lambert caused a fumble there late in the game. So you could give it to a lot of different guys, but the linebacking core did an outstanding job tonight. We talked about them in the pregame. But give me Ed Martin.
Yeah, Ed Martin, the last 2 weeks has just been a man possessed defensively. 3 tackles for loss last week, and tonight he picked up right where he left off. At least had 3 tonight, had a sack. And
yeah, he's fun to watch.
Special individual. And you got 3 linebackers that are special in him and Sonogo and McKinley Mitchell. And that defense with the kicking game, when you got a guy like Jamambo toting the football, got a chance to be a special team this year. Tell you about our next broadcast. We'll come to you next Friday night. Plano West travels to McKinney Boyd to take on the Broncos. Key District 6-6A showdown will be on the air with the pregame show at 7 p.m. and kickoff is at 7:30. I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors tonight: Rodenbaugh's Flooring, American Appliances, Buford Roofing and Construction, and as well as Shockbox, Stat Geek, Whirly Ball, and Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra, Flat Show Oil, and Shockbox. And again, just our special thanks to all of our sponsors who made this broadcast possible. From our broadcast partner Eli Jordan, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. This has been a production of Champion Sports Radio in conjunction with SportsSoundsRadio.com. Until next time, good night and God bless.
This program is produced and broadcast with the permission of and authorization from the Plano Independent School District. It is under the direction of and is copywritten by Sports Sounds Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, including any or all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Sports Sounds Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Sports Sounds Radio and SportsSoundsRadio.com. This is a Sports Sounds Radio presentation.